You knew what this was.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of New Book Who Dis. I am your host, DeathMetalHero, and with me is Bryan from Shattermare Comics. Now, how you doing, Bryan?
I am great. I love the sound effect panel with the reverb and the delay.
Oh, the echo, yes. It's when I need to make a point.
I need to get one of those.
I got this soundboard off of Wish for like wicked cheap, and I did not expect it to actually work as well as it does, and it's been fucking great ever since. Let me tell you, I love this thing. I actually get to use a microphone from a long time ago. This was my dad's microphone. He was performing on stage.
Oh wow!
So it's microphones from the '80s.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's it still works pretty well. It still works pretty well.
Yeah.
But welcome, man. This is it's awesome to have you on the show.
Yeah.
This is my real world. I mean, not that the internet, not that this channel and all my viewers are not the real world, but like the world outside of the internet, outside of the digital. Like this is the flesh and blood world connecting with my internet world, because Bryan actually came in to the comic shop that I work in. They're a local company, local indie publisher here in St. Augustine, in Jacksonville, in Florida. Yep. Yeah, and do you want to tell them how we met? Like, you just like coming in looking for? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, man. So it was back, sometime in 2021. Where we're just scouting out comic shops in the area. So we're both in Northeast Florida, if anyone wondering. And we're still, we are like pretty fresh developing the book. And we just stopped into this little shop in St. Augustine and met Luke, and the rest was history. I mean, now we launched the book, and they carry the book there. So it's good times. Yeah. What's up?
Hell yeah.
But yeah, no, it was great. Like, I remember coming there every few months, and I'm like, oh man, it was very exciting to show you and like some of the other local guys, because from the progression, even from the original artist to like, I don't know, a month before release, there's just like a world of difference.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, we got Flying Feline, Cement Shoes, American Comics, Shadowhawk Talks. And let's see. Yeah, I thank you all so much for coming to hang out. Yeah, man, I've been singing your praises, because I'm really proud of you guys, because you came in, you had this concept, you were talking about it, you found an artist, you got Jason Metcalf to do the cover for your first book, which fuck yeah, dude, he's awesome. And you've been doing it, you've been doing the legwork, old school. We've got this newfangled technology with the internet and live streams and YouTube and all that, but you did the legwork. You went around to the different shops, you talked to people, you found different shops that would carry the book. Because I went down to Gods and Monsters in Orlando, and you guys had a stack of books down there. I was like, yo, these are my dudes that came into the shop, because I was hanging out with Shay and Cy from Red Valkyrie. Yep. We were down in Orlando hanging out, and I was like, this is the book I was telling you guys about. These guys are putting in the hustle. And you're doing it single issue by single issue. Which is great. It's very rare that happens anymore. You're calling around the shops. You yourself are the one that are going around and like talking to people, getting them in the shops, and bringing the books. You actually bringing the books to the shops, right?
Yeah. So the head writer and I, Kyle, we're kind of like the dynamic duo. We go on road trips. We'll go on like a tour, we'll just hit up shop to shop, and I
Yeah.
think it's a lot of fun. It's not even really work to me. I mean, come out, hang out for a couple hours, talk shit at the shop, like pick up some comics. It's
talk
cool.
about this medium that we love,
Yeah.
Talk about a book that you're excited about.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, there's so many, I don't know how to say this, but like, there's very niche, unique shops. So like, even in an industry where you think it's like, oh, well, every comic shop's the same. Like, no, there's a lot of personality that comes out, especially when they're like independently owned. You can just like meet the owner and talk to them. So it's a lot of fun.
That's what indie comics is about, man. Because back in the indie, the '80s scene, the black and white indie scene. That's what people had to do. They had to call shops. They had to do the footwork. They had to go to conventions. They had to network. They had to talk to people. I don't know if you're familiar with Drew Hayes or Sirius Entertainment, black and white indie series. Before Drew Hayes took Poison Elves to Sirius Entertainment, he had his own imprint, Mulehide Graphics, and he did exactly what you guys are doing. Going around to shops, finding out who's interested, getting orders, making the print order, and then each issue, taking it to shops, making sure that each one of the shops that ordered from him got it. It's a hell of a lot of work to do and create a book. You guys seem to have done it right. You guys have a team. You got the creative team, and you're out there like, rubbing the elbows, pressing the flesh, and like talking to people, doing the interviews. And it's great to see. I mean, it's fucking indie comics at its core. You guys now. There's a reason why you guys are doing this book, and it's a fucking great reason. And I want you to tell everybody what the inspiration for this book is. What got it started.
Yeah. So for those of or new people joining the chat, so our book is Hardly Heroes. It's like a tongue-in-cheek fantasy adventure story. It's based off of our long-running D&D group's homebrew adventure. And yeah, so unfortunately the original DM Wilson, he died of cancer. And so it's kind of like a twofold. So like if you pick up a copy of the book, you look inside the the inside cover or whatever, it's kind of in memory to him. And this story, or like what we're calling Arc 1, is basically his legacy. And I joined the group a year in, so I didn't meet him, but the other guys involved, like Kyle and Gabe, they were good friends with the guy. And I mean, I've heard a bad thing about him. And so, that was a big deal for us, like honoring his legacy, right? And being true to the story that they all started, that we still carried forward today. So that's a big part of it. And the other part is like, we just want to have fun. Like it's like we wrote the story, right? It's our characters. We walk around with them every Monday. So like, why not put it into a comic, right? So
these characters that you're playing that are in this story, they're still going. You guys still the group still meets?
Well, yeah. The group. So one of the players, the player who plays Theron, in the story, he took over as the DM, and so he still runs the game today, and it's pretty much the same core group. Like a couple of people have come and gone, but like we still get their input. I mean, even like the guys who aren't even involved in the comic, when we started it, we were like, as much as they could be involved, and or like, hey, we're going to use this character, so here's a form, like write down all your character's backstory and biographical information.
Like give us something to work with so we don't fuck this up.
Yeah. A couple of characters, it's like, we're going to need you to put in more effort here than you did in the backstory of your character.
It's always the way it goes with D&D campaigns, though, right?
Yeah. It's good times.
It's either like no backstory or it's like 4 or 5 pages of backstory.
Yeah, that's why Kyle's the writer, because his Shunk character, that's like the half orc, half gnome fighter, he's got like an 8-page backstory. That was for the game. That's not even for the comic book. So he's like chomping at the bit to do like a Shump spinoff.
Right.
Oh,
To do a little mini series about Shump's misadventures.
Yeah, like a prequel before he gets meets the party in the cabin or something like that. So
Yeah.
But
That's awesome. So you're coming up on issue 5, right?
issue 5, yep.
Issue 5
5
awesome.
launches next Wednesday. We had to push it back a week just to do some last minute revisions and everything, but it was worth it. So I want to make sure, I guess we have the luxury right now of where we're indie, we can still be like, hey, we'll push this back a week or two, and people aren't like, they're not super offended by it. But
right.
If I do it, it's because I don't want this to look like shit, basically. So,
well, yeah. I mean, quality control. I mean, quality over quantity.
Right.
Better to have quality books that come out, and than just churn and burn. Churn and burn is what kind of gets other books into trouble. The quality goes down. It's just like, yeah, But that, like you said, that's the beauty of indie. You can, yeah.
Go ahead.
That's the beauty of indie. You can take a little bit more time and make sure it's right.
Right.
That's a lot of creators, in the crowdfunding scene, have that it takes a little bit longer, but I mean, you get a much higher quality, product in the end. To use a quote from Miyamoto, he's talking about video games. A late video game can eventually be good, like get the game right before you put it out. But a fucked up game is it's fucked up from there till the end of time. That's people's first impression, So yeah, rather have a good quality product come out than have it be rushed and look subpar. Not what the creators want.
Well, that's like you mentioned video games. That happens in video games all the time, right? They're rushing it. They try to like, oh, this has to be out in this quarter of whatever year, and they're like, oh, it's going to cost us X in money for the delays, but then they release a game, it's buggy or it doesn't run. People return it. The company ends up spending millions of dollars, like in refunds, and to hurry up and patch the game that they could have just spent another 3 months developing and made a banger. So.
See, and that's the problem. I feel like developers have relied too much on being able to patch things. Like the being able to patch shit after it's been put out is a crutch. I mean, back in my day, they released a game and that was fucking it. You put it on that fucking cart and that was it, man. So when it went out the windows, and that's print, that's going to print. You can't update it later. You can't explain this. You can't update this panel with better artwork. Like, it goes to print, it's done. So you got to make sure it's right before it goes out. Otherwise,
oh, remember when you got the whole game too?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Back in our day.
Long ago in a galaxy far, far away.
A long ago. In the before times.
Man. In the before times.
And there was hidden shit in those games. The developers put in.
They put everything on that disc. They put everything on that cartridge. Now with like over-the-air updates and stuff like that, they're like, nah, we'll trickle stuff out to you. That's why I like FromSoft. FromSoft gives you a nice fucking solid punch-in-the-face chunk of a game. Oh, yeah. And then they'll release some solid DLC for it later. Elden Ring. I don't know if you play Elden Ring.
I partake. Yeah.
Okay. See, I haven't. I picked it up. I bought it when it first came out. I had a commission I needed to finish, and then I had more artwork that I needed to finish after that commission. And
asshole keeps hiring you to make art for his comic book.
people just keep hiring me to do artwork. So I will eventually get to it, and you know what? I'm going to add it to my channel. I'm going to make it part of the channel. That way I have an excuse to sit down and play it. But yeah, man, it's we got to take that time to enjoy something that inspires us, And I think Elden Ring does, video games in general. It's a brain break, you know. And by brain break, I mean going to break your brain because you're bashing your head against a wall over and over and over again.
Yeah, that game. Oh man, that game is a work of art. Like,
yeah,
you talk about the care and detail that goes into the game.
Mm-hmm.
Man. Yeah, I would definitely not play that game unless you have some time to set aside. You will you will lose like 20 hours. Like that.
Oh, dude, the last game I bought, I think, was probably Spider-Man on PS4.
Okay.
And I was playing that game. I mean, the same thing happened to me with the God of War game that came out in 2018. I would sit down. I'm like, I'm only gonna play for like an hour and a half. You know, looks at clock, 3 a.m. later. Oh fuck! You know, you just lose time. So, question: this is a big one. PC or console?
Oh, PC Master Race.
That's right. PC Master Race. That is correct.
Oh, also, St. Augustine Distillery glass.
Nice.
Well, it's there.
Yeah, your green screen is definitely playing havoc. Let's see. Thank you, Feline. I appreciate you posting the links. Yeah, you guys should definitely go check out their website because you can actually order the issues from you guys directly from your website, right?
Correct. Yeah.
That's awesome.
But if you're near a shop that carries the book, just go to the shop and buy the book.
Totally.
If you're not, then buy it on the website and subscribe to the monthly pool.
Now, you guys ship all over, right? Because I got people all over the country, all over the world.
Yes, sir. As long as as long as they pay the shipping. I mean,
yeah. Obviously, shipping is a bitch right now, but you know the books are available.
Yes.
So American Comics just gave you a follow on the Twitterverse.
Sweet. Thank you.
Yeah. Hey, Matt Ba. What's going on, man? Welcome, good sir. Welcome. Thanks for coming to hang out. There was something I was going to say. Oh, all right. So, what version of D&D are you guys playing? I want to get a little background on the D&D campaign that you guys play. You know, you don't, not to give anything away, don't spoil anything, but just kind of give me a little flavor for the campaign. You know?
Okay. Yeah, it's 5th edition. So
yeah.
Let's see. Yep, Arc 1 today we're still playing 5th edition. So
5th edition's been around for a long while now.
At this point, it's been around, man, like 2015, maybe 14, something like that.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, the last campaign I was a part of before the one I'm a part of with Red Valkyrie, Shay, Cy, Woodrow, on Wednesday nights. Yeah, that's 5th edition as well. But the one before that was 5th edition. And it had just come out, though. You know, it had just come out, and we were playing it, and then, you know, like campaigns do, it fell apart.
Yeah,
people had to go into the Navy, and people had to go into the Air Force, and people had to move away. You know, so it happens.
I was talking to someone about that the other day. They were like, "Yeah, D&D is just like the scheduling simulator when you're an adult."
Yeah,
give credit.
Yeah. You know, I'm actually lucky with the current campaign because, you know, it's part of a show, so, you know, we do it on a regular basis, and it's a blast, man. I don't know if you've gotten a chance to check out the videos. They're fun. They're fun. You know, we're playing 5th edition as well, and you know, we were coming from a different system. Like the first season was basic fantasy. You know, yeah.
Like,
so it's. Yeah, you'd have to talk to Woodrow. I want to say it's like 3rd.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Yeah, like very basic.
Yeah, that's
stripped down. Yeah,
it's like what they released during 3rd, or maybe in between 3rd and 3.5.
Yeah, it might even be you know, simpler than that, but you know. It was for the first season, getting used to you know, because Shay had never really played and Cy hadn't played in a while, and I hadn't played in a while. So yeah, it was a good refresher of RPG, tabletop. And then Woodrow has us in. So there's a fair bit of homebrew, but I mean it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, icebreaker back in.
Huh?
Yeah, like I actually started on. Well, I want to say third edition, but basically 3.5 because that one was out for a while.
3.5, yeah.
Fourth was pretty short lived. A lot of people didn't really like fourth.
Yeah, they kind of skipped over that. I mean, there was like, oh yeah, there's a fourth. Never mind, fifth. Here's fifth edition. Fifth edition. Look here. Yeah.
Come back. Well, yeah, because you had like Paizo. That was like, hey, remember D&D 3.5? That's basically this. And people are like, oh, cool, okay. That's what I played. I played that. We just called it 3.75, which is like a stepping stone. But
all this incremental stuff. We're not quite going to call it 4 because there's not enough of an update. Now they just have different subtitles for each book, so you just keep adding stuff. So what kind of character do you play? What do you play?
So currently we're in campaign 2, which will be, I guess, part 2.
Good stuff.
So
if that spoils anything, don't spoil anything.
No, I'll just talk about the character and not the art, the storyline.
Right.
But it's a tiefling warlock.
Nice.
Pretty good. I like warlock.
Warlock live. Yeah, I'm playing a warlock as well. Playing a bard warlock.
Oh man.
Yeah. Yeah. Hexblade warlock.
Okay. Yeah. If this character.
And, what is it? College of Whispers bard, Hexblade warlock.
Yep. Yeah. If this character dies or gets retired, I'll probably play a bard or mostly bard.
This is my first time playing a bard. I'm digging it. It's fun. It's my first time playing a warlock as well. Last campaign it was just straight rogue. But yeah, this time I wanted to play with that multi-classing just a little bit. See what kind of fun skills I could come up with.
Yeah, and in 5th edition, like, I mean, if you're about like the builds or like the min-maxing and stuff, like multi-classing, the way they designed it is they leave it open for a few levels of multi-classing, and if you like splash into a couple of things, it's really pretty good. Like 2 levels of warlock is really good.
See, I fucking basically split the difference.
Yeah.
With mine, so I'm right now I'm currently I think 6 warlock, 7 bard.
Okay, yeah. You split, what else is?
But I mean, it allows me to do some pretty cool shit, So, yeah, I don't know. I'm having a blast, and that's it. I don't know. Honestly, it's not even really about for me. It's not about the min-maxing so much. It's more about the RPG, like the story ability. What does this fit the character? Does this fit what I want to tell with this character? Because there's some stuff that I could take, but it doesn't really fit with the character's theme. Doesn't really fit with the character's power set. Would love to talk about adapting like a D&D session to a comic book with your writer. What's the writer's name again?
Kyle.
Kyle, yeah. We got to get Kyle on one of these, so we can talk about adapting from like what happened in the campaign. Because I'm curious, do you guys have like a log of what happened with somebody like? I mean, were you recording the session? Because for the Red Valkyrie one that I've been on, I'm lucky because I can go back and watch the live streams and remember what happened. But I mean, with regular D&D campaigns, I mean, you really can't do that.
Yeah. So what we did, and yeah, if you want to talk about the writing aspect, Kyle's, we'll have to get him on.
Yeah, but I mean, tell me what you know.
Sure. Yeah. So the process we did was I got and for me, because I wasn't there in the very beginning, I had to rely on Kyle and Gabe as well. So I just sat them down and I was like, okay, you guys played this. We had pretty good notes from the original DM that Josh, who's our current DM, carried over. So we had notes, so we kind of had like a summary of like the major plot, like the story beats and like what happens, where the characters ended up and stuff. And it's actually pretty fun because I just handed them, or I pulled up, well, it's not a piece of paper now, it's Google Word document.
It's a massive Google Doc. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. But you grab the piece of paper.
Yeah, so I'm like typing notes. I'm like, okay, great. What happens in session 1? And they're like, well, I remember this. I'm like, well, yeah, that's in the notes. Okay. And I type it up. And then there's like this thing that happened where like they both start remembering a lot because it was really fun. And, like you have really good memories with the group.
Yeah.
Through, and we're laughing. And I'm like, all right, cool. And I don't really say much. I just keep typing. I'm like, all right.
So you transcribed the adventure is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, you could say that. Yeah.
That's fucking cool, dude.
So
because you would ask the questions and you coax the story out of them, and they started remembering more the more they talked about it.
Yeah. So we so from that we
awesome.
Yeah. So we did we did the whole arc. So we have an outline of the whole first story arc that we're doing, and we just kind of went like top down. So we're like, okay, we're like the first, I don't know if it's like a 7-act play, right? What happens in Act 1, where it's like a very climactic thing that happens. And I was like, okay, well, they get to I won't spoil it because it's going to come up in like the next 2 or 3 issues. Basically, the party just gets wrecked. They're too a little, they think their britches are too big or whatever, right.
I mean, as happens, sometimes that happens.
Yeah, but so that's like volume 1, right? Leading up to this, the introductions stuff. And then we did it by volume. So we're like, okay, what's going to be volume 2, 3, 4, etc. And then we just filled it in, and it's pretty detailed. It's like several pages of just like bullet points of like, oh, this happened. They meet this guy, and NPC X shows up. Here's who they encountered. So it was a fun process. So between the two of them, we actually have pretty good notes, and between really 4 people, like Gabe, Kyle, Josh, and the original DM Wilson. So,
hell yeah! Sorry, I was just perusing through your website. I was looking for the Jason Metcalf cover of number 1. Like, see if you had a picture of that to show people. But,
yeah, if you go to the shop.
I'm looking in the shop. All I see is now.
Go to issue 1.
I didn't realize this, but apparently you guys are known for having your spicy covers.
Is that
excellent? I like this.
Are we now?
Yeah. It seems I will be joining good company.
Yeah, exactly. We it's almost like an every other issue kind of thing too. It's funny how it works out. But
that's awesome.
I was on another podcast. We were talking about it, and then a guy recently just ordered like all the spicy covers so far. So.
People like spicy covers, man. They're fun.
Yeah.
All right. So this is on their website at Shattermare.com. Now this is also this is a bit different than what I normally do. Like normally I have like campaigns and stuff, but you guys are doing the single issues. So I love this. This is a different change of pace, and so you can still get the spicy Elf Girl Virgin variant on the website.
If you click on that one right there, you can go in and we can look at the. Well, that's just the spicy one, but I can show you the Jason Metcalf cover.
Let's see. Go back.
Go back. So click on the just number 1 there.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you scroll through some of the photos here, we'll see Jason Metcalf's at some point. That's the
there
version.
It is.
There you go.
Yeah, man. We had this poster up in the shop for a while. and it's really cool. Jason Metcalf's great. I love his work. Now, do you know if he color this himself or did he?
So he has his own colorist. So
Nice.
he does all the pencils and ink work, and then he is a phenomenal colorist. I mean, like, I was blown away.
Yeah,
And then
that's
he did
awesome.
Yeah, he did a cover
Metcalf
for 1
does
and
great
2.
work, man.
So he did a cover for 1 and 2. So he did a cover for
awesome.
2 as well. Yeah.
Awesome. Is that in the shop as well?
Yeah. So if you go to number 2,
Nice.
we've got his in there as well.
So you can choose your variant.
Yep, that's him right there.
Oh, he did the creature one.
Yeah, the when they fight the Ankeg initiative.
Ah, nice.
He's really
This,
good.
by the way, guys, this I've read 1, 2, and 3. Actually, I've read 1 through 4, and they're fun. This creature is wow, holy shit! I don't think you'll expect what happens with this creature. It's pretty fucking cool. This thing is terrifying. That's yeah, that thing's
Something
terrifying.
happens. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. Yo, Alex VRB, what's going on? Thank you for coming to hang out. Conventional multiclassing was good in 3.x. Not sure about 5e, but it's not ideal in Pathfinder usually. I still prefer Pathfinder because there's so many archetypes and prestige classes. It's like 3.75e. Nice.
Alex,
Yeah, I've never played Pathfinder.
I have a question for him. Have you played Pathfinder 2nd Edition? Because I played the shit out of 1st Edition, and I'm curious to see if 2nd Edition is worth, like, doing a little segue into, like a side game or something.
Nice.
Yeah, so... there you go.
He's actually playing Pathfinder right now and listening to the background. Well, thank you, Alex VRB. I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, so...
Yo, Pops, what's going on, man?
Yeah, so 3.5 and Pathfinder. Pathfinder definitely... I don't want to say, like... it didn't disincentivize you to not multi-class, but
right.
The way they set up you got a lot of stuff in your class. Like, and they didn't... I don't know, it was pretty bad to get... Because, like, the progression was really tied to the class.
Right.
Like, you got a lot of stuff, but it wasn't like if you multi-class, it had to be like very specific. You had to be like, I want to build a class and I need like this ability, and I literally can't get it. But Pathfinder was interesting because almost every class could do, like with the archetypes and the subclasses, could do almost every other classes. Like it's hard to explain, but like you could play a rogue and there was a subclass that made you basically a monk. Does that make sense?
Okay, so you could do a subclass that would basically give you the powers of everything else, so you didn't really need to multi-class.
Right.
That's what it sounds like.
Exactly.
I am not really familiar with Pathfinder.
Yeah.
Do you remember Mutants and Masterminds? Did you ever play that?
That's
Did
what
anybody
that
else
was
ever
called.
play that?
Yes, that's what that was called. I was trying to remember what that was, but yeah, that was awesome. That was like the OG cape.
Yeah, that was
yeah.
totally like superhero cape shit RPG. Yeah. The comic shop I worked at up in New Hampshire, we had a game up in the lofts. We had a game of Mutants and Masterminds going, and yeah, that was my first. That was like one of my first experiences with tabletop RPG. You know, after that, you know, somebody got a game of D&D. I think it was 3.5. You know, back then, but none of it was very short. I mean, none of it was very long lived. I mean, the Mutants and Masterminds campaign actually lasted for a couple of months. That was a lot of fun. You know, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was an interesting system because I don't think, if I remember, it wasn't a D20.
No, it wasn't. It was long before they did the whole D20 thing. So yeah, at least if I remember correctly. But yeah, man, it's been a long time, and a lot of people that I bring up Mutants and Masterminds who they're not sure what I'm talking about, you know, or they heard of it, but yeah, that was always one of the ones that I wanted to get back to, and I always wondered if they updated it. I haven't found anything about it recently. Granted, I haven't looked in a long time, you know, had other things to do, but yeah, you know,
I couldn't tell you who published that to save my life.
Shit.
But I remember it was pretty fun. I mean, it was definitely like if you play at this level, you could do really crazy stuff. If you play at this level, you could do even crazier stuff. So it was interesting. But yeah, I mean, I could just build the Flash. I could build the Hulk.
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally. You could build Wolverine. You could build Dr. fucking Manhattan if you really wanted to.
Yeah.
Like if you got nerdy enough about that shit and like delved into the mechanics, you could literally make Dr. Manhattan if you really wanted to. You know, because you could take kind of what do they call it? Shit. A character flaw.
Oh,
so you could get a different ability. Yeah, there you go. Yep. There's the
number 3.
Yeah, there's the Evil Dead homage cover. Spicy earmuff girl variant. I like it.
A lot of people don't get that because I guess it's different enough that they're like, oh, okay, yeah, it's like a guy and a girl and like, you know, whatever. But I remember walking in and I was like, here's issue 3, and you're like, oh, this, man, that's an awesome.
It's totally Evil Dead. I mean, and I have that cover, that issue in the studio, for reference. Not the spicy one. I didn't know about the spicy one.
I can send you the spicy one if you want.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I wouldn't say no to it. But yeah, as soon as I saw this cover, I was like, "Oh, it's totally Evil Dead." Like the stance from that dude is absolutely Ash, and then the little people attacking his leg, especially what's biting his leg. Yeah, it's totally Evil Dead, and then her, you know, reaching up there. Yeah, Army of Darkness is one of my favorite Sam Raimi movies. Simply because it was one of like the first rated R movies that I was able to rent, you know, and it was so funny, but yet scary and awesome and horror and fucking great. So, yeah.
Sam Raimi is.
Didn't know really about good. The spicy one.
Well, now you know.
Now we know. Yeah. I like the spicy covers. Speaking of spicy, for another spicy cover, I should put you in touch with my buddy Dan Plagle. He could definitely do a spicy cover for you.
Sure. Yeah. You know, gotta eat like spicy stuff. Keep it tasteful though. You know.
Right.
Well,
you know, ain't nothing wrong with a little TNA. We call it AAT over here. We like the AAT. Ass titty.
You get your waifu right there.
Yeah, exactly. There's a close up. So if you are so inclined for the spicy covers, you can head on over to the website and pick one up.
The reason for the black bars is because all the ladies in the background also.
So listen, for the price, that is maximum amount of titty. I'm just saying, like if you're gonna get down to the nitty gritty, that's a maximum amount of titty. And there's a rhyme for you. So this website's great. I mean, it even greets you and asks you if you need help.
Yeah, it spams you. You gotta accept my cookies. Subscribe. You gotta, so we got pre-orders up for issue 5. We got a monthly pull list.
So tell me about the monthly pull list. What's that?
If people are inclined, you know, it's just like going to your favorite comic shop, but if your favorite comic shop doesn't carry our book, you can order it from the website. It's a subscription model, you know, so you'll get billed every month, and we'll ship the book directly to your doorstep when it comes out. So
that's fantastic.
Package it and ship it.
Hell yeah! Now, you know what? I should go grab one of the books just so people can see the quality, because they're really, I love the printing job. The printing is really well done. And you know, you guys know me when I get stuff, you know, new when I you know, what's in the box. You know, I open up stuff. I talk about the quality of the print job, and I'm not gonna bullshit you. I like the quality of the print job, and you're using a local printer. That's right. You know?
Yep, yeah. A buddy of mine has a print shop in town, and so we print all the books through him. He subleases his space out to, I guess you'd call it. I don't know if this is the technical term, but like a screen printing shop. So they do like shirts, embroidery, stickers.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, so we basically get all our merch through them. It's pretty cool.
Awesome.
So yeah, if there's, you know, someone wants to order like a shirt, I just put a hat. We got hats now.
Yep. See,
So,
you know, comics, swag, apparel.
yeah,
I mean, this is how you do indie comics in the new world. I mean, you guys did a crowdfunding campaign for the first issue, correct? Over on Kickstarter.
So initially we did Indiegogo. We're going to relaunch. Yeah, so we're going to relaunch, I think, 1 and 2 on Kickstarter. So that's down the pipeline. That's going to happen hopefully in the next 2 or 3 weeks. But
any chance of going back to Indiegogo with like maybe a collected edition or something like that?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. So the reason why we're doing Kickstarter is because not only because there's, you know, a different crowd, but
sure.
As we expand the publishing company, we want to be able to offer people, right? Like if I sign, you know, a person who has a book, I can just give them the option. Say, hey, do you want to do Indiegogo, Kickstarter, or both?
Where's your audience at?
Right. So we want to be on multiple platforms. So
absolutely.
But yeah, Indiegogo is
I mean,
cool.
if it works for Billy Tucci, you know.
Yeah. There you go. I mean, you know, or yeah, I mean, some people I've seen recently, they basically just do their own website. They have a crowdfunding.
I mean, right? Eric July just launched his book.
Oh, yeah, you saw the ISOM? Yep.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
I mean, it's kind of hard to be in the scene and not hear about something like that. You know, that's amazing. You know, and this is the beauty of building your audience, you know, putting out consistent content, connecting with your audience. You know, that's what conventions were. You know, that's what conventions should be. I realize, yes, it's fun to like, you know, bump into celebrities and stuff like that and whatnot. Okay, that's cool. But what conventions are for is so you can connect with the writers and the artists that make the content that you enjoy. You know, and I don't know. I've always felt that kept things more grounded, and the more dissociated the convention scene has become from, you know, actually being about, you know, the comic books being made, the creators that are making them, and more about the glitz and the glam and the TV shows and whatnot. It's kind of lost something. You know, there's a disconnect. And indie comics now, via the internet and, you know, again, conventions, smaller conventions, indie conventions, we're getting that connection again. And there's an excitement, there's an enjoyment for the content being created again, you know?
Yeah, there's almost like so we were at MegaCon, and you had like Kevin Smith and like all those people waiting like 4 hours in line. And then you had like all the artists. So you had like you had like Greg Capullo, like some of those more modern guys.
Yeah. Love Greg's work. Greg is awesome.
Yeah. So like, why would I wait in line for 5 hours when I could go get a signature from this guy, have a conversation, meet this guy? Oh, by the way, I want to share something with you. If we want to show it here, we could we could do a premiere.
Please do.
So yeah, and you just meet people, like just doing awesome stuff. Like there's a company, and shout out to the Comics Coffee. So they're in Orlando, they're Central Florida, I'll say. They have a shop actually in Scout Comics headquarters, and they'll do like they're a coffee shop, right?
Right.
The owners are awesome. They brew their own, like they like, I don't know what you'd say, the R&D for developing like a coffee flavor.
Okay. All right.
They roast their own coffee, and they'll do like a bag. So we're talking to them about doing like I guess you call it like a private label, but they'll put like a comic, they'll put like several panels on the coffee bag. So you order your favorite bag of coffee, and it's like, oh, I can get Stabbity Bunny, the Stabbity Bunny edition of like coconut, whatever the flavor is. I'm trying to remember. So yeah, like man, there's so many cool people, and like it's almost weird because you have like that community, and then you've got the people that are like, well, I'll just wait in like line for 2 hours for a panel. So
yeah,
it's an interesting dichotomy.
Yeah, I mean it's priorities. And no, Alex VRB, I do not want to wait in line 4 hours to see Kevin Smith cry close up when he signs stuff. I'm afraid of the drippage. I'm good.
He's sensitive. He's a sensitive.
He is, but he gets excited. He gets a little overwhelmed. It's okay. It's okay.
He's got to juggle Netflix and like actual fans, I guess.
Yeah, well, see, that's what I mean, man. I'm more about going to conventions and talking to people. Like, all right, one of my favorite convention memories is living in Dover, New Hampshire, and jumping on the train, heading down to Boston for Boston Comic Con. This was in 2011. Yeah. Yes, I think 2011. We're gonna go with that, right? So it's in a hotel ballroom. It's a fucking regular hotel ballroom convention, and they got some cool people there. They got like this hallway out there with like big names and stuff. So walking through the convention, I've got the mohawk up, talking to people like God, I got to talk to David Mack, Frank Cho, all kinds of people that day, and it was great to just be there, interact with the people that make the stories and the art that I appreciate, that I love. Ask them questions about, what they were thinking when they made this, when they did that. To me, that's what conventions are for, and getting back issues, finishing the run, picking up the stuff that you missed, from back in the day, or, finding that hidden gem. That, I don't know, glitz and glamour. But anyway.
Yeah, that's a good feeling.
Exactly. Go ahead.
So, I was going to say, so we went to there's in Charlotte, Heroes Con.
Yes.
Was what I was told is like one of the only Comic-Con left.
Right.
And man, were they right. It was phenomenal. Awesome. Like, I had amazing. I straight up walked up to Scotty Young with like no shame, and it was like, yes. I want you to do a cover for my
Awesome. Hell yes.
Of course, I got like maybe in like 3 years from now, I'm like, I don't care. Make a wait list. Put me on it. That's fine.
Right. So, I mean, that's fine. Just, give me a holler when you're ready,
Yeah. And
Scotty's great, man.
They're cool guys.
I hate Fairyland. I wasn't really my thing. I was like, I don't know. My buddy Inkspots was like, no, dude, we gotta do this for Do You Even Read? I read that shit. That shit was so goddamn funny. And it was so well drawn and like, yeah. Anyway, he won me over with that series. Scotty Young's great. Love his stuff.
Yeah, he's down to earth guy. Like I met the artist for Lady Mechanica. So
Benitez. Yeah. Joe.
Yeah.
Dude, I love that dude's work. Man, if you can get him to do a cover, holy shit.
I mean,
he's like that dude's old school Top Cow.
That's
my dude.
I'm gonna get him. I mean, he agreed. So
fuck yeah, he did. That's awesome.
So at some point, I'm gonna email him.
Dude, that's fantastic. Congratulations. And I'll fucking drink to that. Skull.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. Let me pour myself some more George Dickel before she.
Yeah.
Can I show that on screen?
No, that's great, man. I'll have to put you in touch with Jason Krager. That's a buddy of mine and Joe Benitez. Yeah, seriously, ask Joe about Krager, and he'll tell you. Krager's fantastic, dude.
Cheers.
Well,
you know what's the weirdest thing though? When you're having a conversation with Benitez and like this guy is signed to Image, right? Like
Mhm.
his books are nationally distributed now. He's got like a writing partner and everything, and he's like just at the table hanging out.
Yeah.
Because it was like a, just like a comics convention, and I'm telling him about what we're going on. Like I had him do like a blank sketch cover for me, and he's
Fuck yeah,
like,
dude.
"Oh, I've got questions for you," and I'm like,
Really?
Like, what do you
Okay.
What do you mean? Like, I'm just some asshole who started a publishing company 6 months ago. Like, you literally, like, you're the guy. What do you mean? Like, what kind of? And he's like, yeah, I'm good at art and I've got a writer, but like, we don't know how to, publish our book. I'm like, well, you got Image, so you're doing something right. Like, I've got ideas I could pitch you, I guess, but it's a weird.
But I mean, you guys are. That's what I'm saying, man. You guys are doing this completely indie. You started it up on your own, and you doing it. The legwork. The legwork is important, whether you're doing it in real life, in the flesh, whether you're pounding the pavement or you're building an audience online, talking to people, getting the artwork out there, getting you out there. I've looked through your Instagram. All the links for these guys are in the description of the video, by the way. Go check out all their social media. Follow them on Instagram. Follow them on YouTube. Follow them on Twitter. Wait, you guys don't have a YouTube yet, do you?
We do, but
you do.
So we've got a couple interviews on there. Actually, I should probably post more links to the live stream interviews. But I do have an idea for a series that I do want to use YouTube for. We could talk about. First, I just want to give a shout out. Yeah, Comics on Coffee. Thank you, Flying Feline, for putting that in the chat.
My favorite troublemaker and partner in crime.
Yeah. No, it's so much fun meeting. I'm actually pretty new to the industry. Like I wasn't I didn't grow up with comics. Actually, oddly enough, I used to play a lot of card games.
Right.
So the versus system, like Marvel versus DC.
Oh yeah, totally.
So I got
Overpower. Versus came after Overpower.
Yeah, exactly. So I got all my because you know how in Magic the Gathering cards they'll put flavor text and then they'll have novels and they'll expand them. So all the art for versus cards were panels, it was the panel art or the flavor text.
So they took panels from the comics.
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
It's a business idea, right?
Yeah, reuse the artwork and get people interested to go check out the comics.
And it was the really awesome silver golden age. It depends on what set they released, but some of it was it was top notch, classic.
Yeah.
And so that's how I got into Marvel and DC. I didn't it was weird. People talk about the comics, and I'm like, yeah, that's what's the obscure X-Men the island where they've got the misfit mutants, you know what I'm talking about?
Genosha.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
that was a card. It had an ability, you played it, you tried to use it to win, and it was a competitive card game. So that was where I came up, and but to me, I'm like, oh, this is cool. It's you still kind of get into the comics without reading, but
dude, I love hearing that, because that's it's one of the beauties of things branching out into different medias. It gets people's attention that wouldn't normally run into it. And it's funny that you mention cards, because I actually just picked up a bunch of cards from the shop that had been there, for 20, 25 years, so it's a bunch of they're trading cards, mind you. But I'm going to have channel giveaways. I'm going to have prizes to raffle off and stuff. So stay tuned, guys. But it's awesome how that branching out into different media will bring people in to check out the comics. It'll tell stories. The trading cards used to tell stories and whatnot. The trading cards used to be at the conventions too. That used to be a huge thing. And then around the end of the 90s, the bottom of the card market just dropped right out.
I think oddly enough, MetaZoo, MetaZoo, they're kind of bringing that back. They're
Really?
kind of like, yeah, they're it's almost like, it's hard to describe. It's like the art style is almost like a parody of like Pokemon and a lot of like mythical creatures. So it's like a
Right.
zoo, and you're like a zoologist or whatever.
Oh, okay.
The reason why,
you know,
yeah,
they still do Pokemon cards.
oh yeah, Pokemon is still big, but the MetaZoo was like started by a guy. He did a Kickstarter, right? Like he had a vision. And
Right.
now they've got like sanctioned tournaments. Like they're building their scene, right? It's very similar. But the mechanics, I don't know how competitive some of these mechanics are, but the mechanics are meta. That's why it's MetaZoo. So it'll be like if there's a bug on the wall, this creature gets like +2 or to attack or something like that.
Right.
I'm like, that's a pretty unique idea. Like no one really does that. No one's like bringing the real world into a card game.
Oh, okay. So hence the name Meta.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
It's pulling
So,
in the real world.
Yeah, and like among that
Okay.
community, that card game has seemed to blown up, and they're at a lot of conventions. They'll do like limited release, like Spookala. They had like a thing at Spookala. They were giving out cards. So it's coming back a little bit.
Okay. Well, I know in the crowdfunding scene, we like our trading cards over here. I've gotten so many trading cards that I honestly need to start a new book. I haven't had to buy any of those sheets in like forever, but you know the books that I get, I get trading cards and stuff like that along with. So it's started a new collection. It's good stuff. But it could just be me because I grew up going to the comic shop and the card shop, and the card thing was like one of the things my dad and I did together. We'd like, I'd save up my allowances and I'd go buy a box, and then we'd go through it, opening it, and we'd try to see if we got all the cards, and the chase cards. Oh man. Getting a chase card in a pack of cards, like, you're sorting through like the regular cards, and yeah, they're kind of glossy or something like that. But then you get that super shiny hologram or the chrome cards or something like that. That, I don't know, that was so much fun as a kid. And I know, I know the cards that I'm going to get because I see them on the campaigns and stuff, but it's still so much fun to have those extra little, the tchotchkes, the swag, the extra stuff. It's, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. Currently, there's a debate between, what is it, bookmarks and magnets.
It's like top tier swag.
Yeah, which is the primo swag? Is it a bookmark or a magnet? Kenneth Rockefeller's done a bookmark. So is Shelby Robertson. So they've cast their vote.
So I saw. I'm trying to remember what.
Lola, what's going on, Lola? How you doing, darling? Thank you for coming to hang out.
Speaking of waifus,
Lola's awesome.
There's a guy who had guitar picks as swag.
Mm-hmm.
As a good way. I thought that was pretty sweet.
Yeah. Brian Polito does guitar picks with Lady Death. Yeah.
Nice. So
yeah, man.
I would be on board with that. And the funny thing is, I was like, "Oh, do you play?" He's like, "Nah." I'm like, "All right, well, I'll use them maybe."
Right? I mean, why not?
Yeah. I shared with you that cover that I was talking about that will be on our Kickstarter relaunch. It'll be an exclusive Kickstarter. Should be in your Gmail. But speaking of capturing audience that's not into comics, but a good crossover. So for the YouTube channel, I'm scouting people for doing kind of like a 2.5D animated series for Hardly Heroes.
Nice.
So,
I know exactly someone you can talk to.
Oh yeah.
Oh
like
yeah. Yeah.
Do You have an editor?
Everybody in the chat know who I'm thinking about immediately. So yeah, we'll talk. Yeah, I got a homeboy that can help you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll send you a link to exactly what I'm trying to do. I just don't have the Photoshop After Effects chops to do it right now.
Let's see. All right, and this is the cover that he just shared with me. So this is the variant for.
So this is going to be a variant for issue 1. That.
Oh, all right, nice.
Yeah. So this will be when we relaunch. When we relaunch on Kickstarter, this will be a Kickstarter exclusive cover, or I guess timed exclusive. But yeah, we'll have some merch with that on it. So.
Hell yeah.
You guys, yeah. So obvious Abbey Road. Everyone does it.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of cool, you know, with the forest behind it. I mean, yeah, that's a little different.
A little different. Yeah. I met this artist, Javon at MegaCon. He does a lot of like kind of like album art homages. Like I think it was Department of Truth. He had like the Nirvana, like the really popular Nirvana.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I remember that book.
Kind of stuff. Yeah. So
awesome.
Yeah. So like just meeting people in the community, it's like, man.
See, this is what I'm talking about. Conventions, you know, hitting the pavement, meeting people. That's what conventions are about for me. That's how I met Joe Kubert. You know, that convention 2011 going down to Boston, right? They had this hallway. Everybody's packed down at one end trying to meet Frank Quitely. And you know, we went down there, you know, on a whim on a Saturday. Didn't expect to see Joe Kubert there. But you know, he had a table. He was going to be like making a special appearance on Sunday. So nobody expected him to be there, right? I look over and I'm looking at the hallway and I'm like, why is George Romero sitting at, oh my God, that's Joe Kubert. So I walk over and I got to spend like 30 to 45 uninterrupted minutes talking to Joe Kubert about comics and story and got him to sign my sketchbook. And it was because, you know, just walking around talking, there was no celebrities, you know, I mean, people were mobbing Frank Quitely because, you know, he was there that day. That was his thing, you know, but nobody was paying attention. He was just sitting there quietly looking at the room, just watching the convention. Looked like he was enjoying the fact that nobody knew he was there, you know. Got to talk to him about, you know, how I got to, you know, meet his eldest son, Adam. You know, I had interviewed him for last Wednesday, you know, for the show I did back in the day, you know, at a convention down in Orlando. You know, so it was just that to me is what conventions are for. You know, you get to meet these people that make the stories that you enjoy, you know, that create the artwork, you know, and that's where you get, you know, you get people to do awesome fucking covers for you. So you know, when you relaunch, you know, on you know, when you relaunch your Kickstarter campaign. Now, so you said you did an Indiegogo.
Indiegogo, and we did pre-orders at we actually did pre-orders at Ancient City Con last year. So
that's awesome. I've actually never been to Ancient City Con. I've heard good things though. I'll have to check it out. We
have a table this year. I'll hit you up. When we get
all right.
Yeah.
Let me know. Yeah, absolutely. So this is and this is going to be the cover to the relaunch. Let me stop sharing this. That's awesome.
One of the variants I may do for Indiegogo we did like an exclusive as like a pre-order exclusive. I may do that again for Kickstarter. We've got some left over. So.
There it is.
Oh, Metcalf variants for 3 or 4. So Metcalf, he didn't do 3 or 4, but when we come out with the trade paperback, like the first volume, I'm going to either Jason or I know someone who can get me in contact with Tyler Kirkham.
Oh shit, Kirkham. He just did a crowdfunded book. What was it? Final Boss, I think it was called.
Yeah,
So
Boss, yeah, they're doing Artist Elite.
Yeah. Oh, dude,
Starting their
they got Brett Booth as well. I love
good.
that dude's work. Brett Booth is so fucking good. He's the reason why I've been picking up Gunslinger Spawn. I just love looking over those pages. Shit, man. Yeah, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah, unfortunately we can't have Jason Metcalf do every cover. You know, he's amazing. He's a professional. He's great. He's a little on the pricier side, but I also want to buy all the original art that he does for us. So you know, I can't go broke. I guess.
Oh yeah, you can definitely go broke. You know, picking up original art. You know.
Yeah, but like, you know, if you hover over 3 right there, like the main thing. So like that was a guy that did the cover for a writer that I've met at some of the conventions and signings, and he is in Peru, I want to say, and so he does because we were like, oh well, God, we have to do kind of like an anime cover, you know, like a manga cover at some point, and like. Don't get me wrong, Jason Metcalf is phenomenal, but like all the other different artists that I get to showcase, like your boy here right above me. You know,
that's right. Issue number 7 will feature a cover by yours truly.
Yeah.
And it will have a spicy variant, y'all.
That's right.
Stay tuned.
It's coming. This fall. What fall? This
fall. That's when it'll be coming out. Yeah.
So yeah, in the fall, in a world, but
in a world where the cover is coming out this fall.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, so
yo, what's up, Anthony?
Nice.
How you doing, Anthony? Good to see you, man. Welcome. And Miss Good Stuff. Good to see you. Thank you both for coming to hang out. Yeah.
But yeah, like. I like having just a roster of artists that I can showcase. So, you know, it's nice to have a variety of people you can bring on and do covers, showcase a bunch of different people. So, and I don't want to like spam out variant covers. So,
right.
I don't want to get like, I'll just say, I don't want to get Marvel number of covers where it's like,
nobody wants Marvel number of variant covers. Trust me.
So yeah, we try to mix it up a little. Like that variant for 4 is a guy named Jason Sobel. So he did like I'll say he did a variant for issue 1 that we turned into a spicy cover. But he came back and did like a Harbex art class for issue 4. You know, so,
nice.
So it's like fun stuff that you won't get with like I don't say mainstream artists, but like people who are used to drawing like, okay, here's my superheroes and here's how they have to be. So,
yeah.
I feel like I'm coming off more negative than I
No. I totally understand what you mean, man, because that's the beauty of indie comics. On the last issue of Do You Even Read, Matt Barr and I went over Crypt of Dawn. And when I read that initially, I didn't expect it to be an anthology. And it was put out by Sirius Entertainment, and it was all black and white, but there were so many different art styles, and it was a lot to go through because there's, you know, Joseph Michael Linsner, who of course is just, it's amazing artwork. And then there's stuff that, you know, wasn't my cup of tea, but, you know, I know was kind of big around the indie scene back then. Again, that's the beauty of indie comics. You can showcase a bunch of different styles. I mean, speaking of different styles, my boy Jason Bascom, you know, Unhinged, who I do topic lists with, you know, he's got a very Wayshack-inspired style, you know, Sam Keith type, you know. So that's what indie comics are best at, man, giving you that different flavor, giving you that different feel, you know. Being able to scratch that itch, you know, differently, you know.
And nowadays, like, competition is tough. Like, you can find really good artists all over the place. and they've all got
Absolutely.
their own style that's unique.
Okay, we
So
love
it's
to-
like you can't just have one. Can't-
Right. All right.
uh,
And so tell me about these other books down here, because I'm curious about the future of Shattermare as well. So you got hats and shirts and stickers and whoa. Okay, hold up. What's the loot chest?
Loot chest. That's like a little chest of the swag that we did for Indiegogo. So you
Oh,
get,
nice.
like, speaking of cards, you can get some collectible cards, dice set, map of the region that the characters are traveling through. You get the fancy sticker, and you get signed poster, and of course you get the book. So
I mean, that's the deal right there.
You technically don't get the book, but if you get the loot chest, I'll throw in the book.
There you go.
You heard it
I
here.
mean, ladies and gentlemen, that's what you want to grab right
Just
there.
hit me up and be
Get
like-
that swag. Yeah.
Just hit me up and be like, I ordered after new book Who Dis. I got the loot chest. You know, you promised me.
Yeah, let them know. Let them know. What's up, Past Master Dan? Welcome. Let's see. And oh yes, did someone say Jason Bascom? Check out his next campaign launching September 17th. Frog G, Voodoo Gods in Magic. That's right. Inspired by our boy, Link Slinger Extraordinaire, Frog G in the chat. What's up, brother? Good to see you, man. Welcome. Thanks for coming to hang out. But yeah, man, this is great. You know, we like swag around here, and I know I love T-shirts and stickers.
So so we came out with kind of a funny swag idea.
Yeah.
So like in Jacksonville, we'll do like this like arts market once a month. So you got people selling like candles and produce, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were like, why don't we come out with so I was at Ancient City Con, and there's this lady who did like custom soaps, like scents based on your favorite D&D characters. You like mix and match.
Oh
like,
shit! Okay.
and I was like, oh, I'm totally stealing that idea. So one of the guys involved in the book, my buddy, his wife has a soap company. So we came out with soaps that have like scents for the characters. And
Oh shit!
we'll sell like a gift set with like the soap. So like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if this is controversial, but like more women tend to like soaps, like handcraft soaps than guys, So you'll
I
have
mean,
we'll be
generally speaking, yes, they do tend to
Yeah.
smell better than us guys, and
that's also true.
it's
Yeah.
probably because they tend to bathe more than us guys.
And they'll
just-
be like, "Hey, use the soap."
Yeah.
So,
Hey, check it out. It's
Check
a
it out.
manly soap. It's based on one of these manly characters here.
Yeah. So I don't know if I'm
Right?
gonna throw it on the website or put it as like like to bomb, like spam you with it when you're adding it to your card. Be like, "Hey, by the way," something.
Hey, you never know. You never know. Somebody might be like cruising the website and they see those soaps and like, oh, this is a perfect fucking gag gift,
Or
or
like,
something like that. And then they get the soaps and they're like, holy shit, these are great.
no, they're legit. Like,
Yeah.
I'm impressed. So yeah, we came out with soap basically. Is what I'm saying.
Hey man, trying different things, and you know what? You care about the hygiene of your viewers. Your fans. Your readers. When you get home from the convention, yes, I know you're very excited at the convention right now, but when you get home, you take this soap and you take a fucking bath, please.
Yeah, and we
or maybe when you go to the hotel room, go I don't know, go find a sprinkler somewhere. Listen, I've been going to conventions for a long time, and I remember taking my ex-wife to her first big convention. We went outside to go, eat lunch and whatnot, enjoy the sunshine, the fresh air. And we're walking back in, and she's all excited and happy. And she's like, "Oh, somebody's grilling onions." There were no food vendors in the hall that we walked in. And I look at my co-host on last Wednesday, and we look at the cameraman. And I look back at her, and then I kind of break it to her that that's not onions.
That's the con.
And she's like, "What?" Oh, and just crestfallen. And it's very difficult for a black woman to turn green, but yeah, she damn near turned green. But yeah, so anyway, use the soap. Stay clean.
That's right.
Be awesome. Stay clean. Yeah.
And in Charlotte, we were like right next to a bathroom the whole time, so we're just like, hey,
Yeah.
you want to? Yeah, I mean, it's cool. Like people buy gift set, so it'll be like, here, buy the soaps, get a comic book. So
Right. I mean, why not, man?
yeah, works out.
I mean, it trying different things. I mean, again, this is what indie does so well. We pivot. We try different things. We have the ability to do something different, try different,
Yep.
see what works. We're nimble.
Yeah.
We're nimble and we're fucking creative. That's why we're dangerous. Nice quality hats, man.
Thank you.
I don't wear hats because I feel like I look goofy in hats, but that is a nice looking hat.
I try to take some very hipster photos. Keep strong. There you go. It's,
very very artsy.
it's my speaker.
Yeah.
Chill and relax, man cave. Oh,
hey.
There you go.
There you go. Oh, I love the picture in the background. That's great, man.
Yeah, little Gotham City cocktails.
Yeah. No, that's awesome.
Yeah. See, well, amateur.
Executive Vault. Hey, DIY or die, right?
That's right.
Oh, listen, y'all. It's a snapback. It is a snapback hat.
It's official.
Oh shit! Because when Fraga did hats on Black Flag, people were asking for snapbacks.
Spread the word.
Spread the word far and wide.
Snapbacks are back.
On Shattermare.com.
That's right.
The website's great, man. So you got Holmes, you got all the featured news coming up here. So issue 5 is coming out July 20th. If your LCS doesn't cover it, and chances are if you're not in Florida, it may not. So you can pre-order on their website, and the link is in the description, and it has been dropped in the chat by both Flying Feline and Lola.
Yeah, we're in mostly Florida, some shops in Georgia and North Carolina. So.
Oh shit! All the way up in North Carolina. Fantastic, man. See, that's
we're slowly spreading out.
Yeah, man. But that's how you do it. You get out there. You get to know different things, different people. You network. Again, that's another beautiful thing about conventions. You meet other people that are looking to do the same. You find talented people.
Yep.
Speaking of talented, my boy Anthony Figueroa here is mighty talented. He did God's Hand, and has a new book that I am waiting on to get. Very much looking forward to it. It's good to see you, Anthony, man. Been a while. You can get the Shattermare snapback right here. Yeah.
You probably can't get it at comicsuncoffee.com.
Yeah.
Spam them and be like, "Where's my Shattermare comic?" They're like, "What are you talking about?"
And then he says, "I am susceptible to flattery." It ain't flattery if it's true, dude. Like, talented dude. Yeah. Anyway, all right. So issue 4 you can still get. It's a great cover. That's the interior artist that did that one, right?
Yes. So we always do. We have the interior artist do a cover A, and then we feature a variant artist.
Dude, I love that.
Yeah, it's working out pretty well. We did a handful to promote one, but I like the main, the cover A, cover B kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it doesn't confuse things. It doesn't flood the market, and I love the fact that the interior artist gets to do the cover for the book that he's doing the interior art of.
Yeah, he enjoys
Back
it.
in my day, when I was a kid reading comics, I mean the interior artist did the cover.
Yeah.
So it's a throwback to comics as it was when I was younger. Classic comics, I guess, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. Since we're kind of new, we didn't even think about that. I just thought our artist is really good, so why not let him take the time to do a cover? Because interior pages, like, he's just cranking those things out. You
got to. I mean, especially if you're on a monthly schedule. If you're doing a monthly book, even a bi-monthly book, it's interior pages. That's work. Especially if you're doing it on a schedule like that. So hats off to him, and it's an awesome cover. It's a striking cover, and it reminds me of The Dark Knight.
Yep.
I'm getting good at this.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it's good. He gets to showcase like all the detail he puts in. I've got a colorist that does our covers, so that guy's a great colorist too.
Yeah, no, this is a great collaboration. This is bitchin', man. It's very eye catching on the wall, I will say as well, amidst all the other books that were up there. So it's good. It's eye catching. All right, so what is the future for Shattermare? Where do you? I don't know. What are your plans? Anything outside of Hardly Heroes? What's next?
I wish I had the sound panel that you have, so I could be like, "We're taking over."
Taking over.
No one cared who I was till I put the mask on. Yeah, so
you see, I was born in darkness. You merely adopted it.
you think money gets
I'm sorry. What? What is he saying? Damn it!
I'm sending a message. Yeah. So,
yeah, that was the much better Batman movie.
Agreed. So we're slowly building, but we with all the people that we meet that are doing pretty sweet indie stuff. Right now, in fact, I talked to this guy earlier who's outside of Raleigh in North Carolina that we met.
Nice.
Other folks out there. So we're kind of trying to build an indie network, if you will. And ultimately,
Excellent.
I want to smack around like Diamond and some of these guys, like actually give them some competition and come out and set up.
Yes.
Like an indie distributor, like just
really.
Yeah. So that's kind of my vision. Like, why don't we build a network? So,
seriously, no, this is beautiful. I love the sound of this. I absolutely love the sound of this because Diamond has needed competition for years.
Right. When I say I'm going to do something, I do it.
Fuck yeah, man. Oh yeah, no, that's absolutely. Showed up in the comic shop talking about this idea of a comic, and then fucking what? Like I guess a year, maybe almost a year later, you show up and comics done. Like, hey, we're launching, man. Check it out.
We're doing it. So that's kind of something I want to build out because we're talking about indie, right? We're talking about all the amazing creators and people trying to get their name out there. So something I've noticed, and this isn't just comics, this is just in general, because creative people are really good at creating things, but they're not great at selling the thing they create. And that's not a dig on them. It's just the time, that they spend in creating their art.
So 100%. They get stuck up here. Yeah. And in here.
You're right. And it's just they don't like, they're spending a lot of time making their art, which is great. Like, you want that. You don't want someone who's really talented fucking around with other stuff.
Doing the numbers thing and like, you know, the hustle thing. I mean, they may be good at both, but you know, let them be creative. I hear you.
Yeah, but it is rare. So, but I like the hustle. I like meeting people. I like the sales. I like the business side. So
okay.
I mean, that's what a lot of people lack. So, in building the network, we're starting to offer what I would call creator-owned publishing services. So we're not necessarily, now we are talking to a couple of people about developing some stuff that will be under the Shattermare Comics umbrella, and like branching out from Partly Heroes, so we can have we can build our catalog.
Nice.
But I also like to help people that are in the space, like the industry, that have a product and it's good, right?
Yes.
Like it's well written, the art is great, but maybe they're going to some service and they're just getting like raked over the coals in printing. Like that's a big one I hear about, right? Like they're trying to print their book. They only
man,
like
you want to hear about printing problems? You want to talk to Irene. She's had some serious printing issues that finally seem to have been resolved. So we'll hopefully that's that. But yeah, printing is a big deal.
It's a big deal, and I mean that's how you even price your book. I mean that's a big cost. So if you're going physical, which I mean you kind of still have to do that. So so just helping people with stuff like that, right? Like it's better to be able to help people with that than to go out and say, hey, I'll offer you a publishing deal to sign with me and get whatever royalty or give up whatever rights to your book. I can help promote them and they can continue to build their brand, their universe, their book, and do what they're good at while offering them services that I know I can compete with other people because I know I can do it better than them. I don't know. Maybe that makes me cocky, but like from like having a business background, I just see how bad they fuck it up. And so that's just a very long-winded way to say like I'm going to come for some of these bigger people. So that's my vision. Like
hungry.
Yeah. Exactly.
Hungry is what you should be hearing. Hungry.
Yeah. So
hungry in this indie scene is a good thing. We got a lot of hungry creators. You know, but there's so many talented people, and the cream does rise to the top, man. You know,
but there's a demand. Look at you're talking about Young Ripa, Eric July earlier. Like the guy has his own website crowdfund. In 2 days, he gets $1 million. Like,
he's up to 1.5 million now.
Oh well, damn!
Last update I saw,
So there's a demand. People want good content. You just got to give it to them. So why not build a network where we could deliver it to the people? So
exactly, my friend, exactly. You know, and
that's
as you
goal.
said, you know, hey, Sugar Chris, welcome. Good to see you.
And especially retailers, right? Like, I mean, you like you're passionate about comics. You carry comics. You sell comics. It sucks if you have to order a bunch of comics that just sit on the shelf.
Yeah.
I don't know how much you want to go into that conversation, but
well, I mean, you know, listen, my viewers have heard me go off on just, you know, the useless pulp that just sits there, and you know, when they were double shipping things that they knew damn well we're not gonna sell and that we didn't order. Oh, you ordered, you know, 3 or 5 of these just to try it. We're gonna ship you 10, maybe 11 of them, just so you have more. Thank you. We're not a large shop, and now this is going to be in the back room until doomsday, until I can figure out like some kind of giveaway basket at some events. But see, again, giveaway baskets at an event are supposed to entice people to come to the shop. If I give that shit away at an event, that's going to entice people to go the fuck away. So, I don't know. So that's an old, very sharp axe of mine that I do like to grind.
Yeah. Well,
But
and
again,
someone, I was talking to someone recently, and they mentioned. I'm sorry, I wasn't talking to someone. I saw this. It actually might have been Eric's video, but or no, it wasn't his video. I know what video it was. But anyways, they made a comment, just kind of like a throwaway comment. But they were talking about Marvel and Disney, and they were talking about how Marvel, like Disney could operate Marvel at a complete loss because to them, Marvel is a bunch of staff writers and storyboard artists.
oh, it's IP farm.
Right, to farm, and they're not the only one. I've talked to other
DC's the same way.
Yes, but I've talked to other bigger indie, like I won't name names, but like I met people where they're like, yeah, I have producers and we make these books and we basically tailor it to get optioned, and they're just taking it to with producers, and so
again, the stepping stone,
right, but by definition, they don't give a shit about the story. Right? Like they don't give a shit about comics.
Exactly.
Like by definition, fundamentally, they don't care because they're saying we're going to have this written as content that we can just convert into something for our streaming platform or something, and you're going to lose something there. You know, you could come up with, I'm sure, different reasons as to why that may or may not be, but at the end of the day, it's going to lose quality because you don't give a shit about that medium.
You're not writing it for that medium. You're writing it. Oh, well, if this looked good on screen, will that look good on screen? It's like writing something to see if somebody's gonna think it's cool instead of just writing a fucking cool story.
Right. It's just a pitch. It's now showing on Hulu, and so
make a comic first. Make your story first. Absolutely.
And make something you believe in. Like that will stand on its own. Not because you're trying to impress people or you're trying to like funnel it up to whoever.
100%.
So that to me why it's like this market is so ripe. Like there's so much, people are so hungry for like good content in the industry because they actually give a shit about what they're reading. Whether it's me or like Eric or whoever, like there's people doing graphic novels, all kinds of crowdfunding stuff. Like it's
so many.
Yeah, like the guy you showed me from the UK. I need to read that.
Chubb. My boy Chubb. You can find the link for his next campaign in the description of this video. BEEFHEADS. Definitely want to go check that one out. Yeah, Chubb is fantastic, man. I was lucky enough to be able to sell some of his books in the shop, man. And that it's just the tip of the iceberg. There's so many fucking talented people in this scene. I mean, you got Shelby Robertson, who's a veteran of Image Comics. I mean, of course, Fraga, who worked for Liefeld and was there at the founding of Image Comics as well. But I mean, Bancroft. I mean, you can see the Lucent right there. You can see Rob Willis and cover of Testament. Here, it's just so much talent in this indie scene, and it's. And they're all passionate about making something good, and they're all passionate about entertaining their customers. Not just, well, maybe Netflix will pick this up. Maybe I can use this as a stepping stone so I can do something really important, like making a fucking trash movie. Yeah, okay, sure. No, I'll stick with my comics, thanks.
Yeah, like getting in a bunch of Twitter articles, I guess, or whatever.
I guess, man. Would much rather make something that I'm proud of and be able to go to conventions, meet the people that read the stuff that I'm making, shake the hands, get the feedback, talk to the people, and enjoy the interaction and continue to make good stuff. Like I don't need Hollywood, I don't. I don't need their TV shows. I don't need their shitty movies. I don't need their boardroom bullshit. I don't need San Diego Comic-Con being Hollywood's fucking dumping ground. You know, it makes me sad that such a, you know, storied institution as SDCC is nothing but, you know, rife with just what is Disney doing this year. Because when you boil it down to it, that is the one corporation that has all these little tendrils because it owns all of these corporations, because that's what the nerds buy, because the nerds have money. It's another thing that that our boy Ripa showed, is that nerds have money and they're willing to spend it on stuff that they believe in and are excited about and then are passionate about. And again, it's not just selling the product. It's not just selling the fucking awesome comic. That is a part of it. It's also selling oneself. It's also selling who you are. You have to, I mean, you got to be real. You know, you can't connect with your audience if you're fake as fuck. You know? Because they will find out.
Yeah, don't discount autism on the internet.
Right? Just be genuine, you know. That's all. That's all. You got to be real. And if you're passionate about your story, if you're excited about your story, it'll come through when you're making your book, when you're talking to people, you know, when you're doing the legwork. And this man right down here, he's doing the legwork. You know, how many shops do you drive to on your little route? Little, you know, on your route around Florida, how many shops do you drive to?
So I usually hit the Jacksonville / St. Augustine shops. Gabe is a trooper. He let me back up. So luckily, 2 of the people involved are sales reps for an alcohol distributor. Maybe I shouldn't be saying this public, but they won't see it. It's fine. So they while they're
all 11 of you,
while they're delivering their normal route, they can do that and then deliver books.
Awesome!
Finding
network,
ways, right?
Yeah, man.
So Gabe typically hits like the Melbourne, Orlando area, which that alone is probably like 2/3 of the shops that we're in. I want to say it's almost like 15, 20 shops. It's pretty good. Yeah. And so I'm hitting like 4 or 5. You include Savannah, maybe like 5, 6 shops.
That's awesome. That's I mean, yeah, so, they're not far away. I mean, shit, man, all the way up into Savannah. That's great. Yeah. So Savannah's a huge market, man. That's a huge city.
That's good.
Yeah, man.
So, and then I've got awesome. And then we're getting to the point where some of the books I just mail off to people because, I mean, we all have day jobs, so getting to St. Port Lucy's, you know, just like 4-hour drive casually on like a weekday is and
that's a little far. I would love
to, dude.
Yeah,
especially with gas prices now. So, so we're getting to the point where we do mail some stuff off. One of the guys is in North Carolina, so he takes some books to some of the North Carolina shops. So
excellent, man.
I kind of get my letter involved. He's in Atlanta, so I'm like, here's books, take them. I force some of the guys to be sales reps, I guess. But so in total, I would say between 30 and 50 shops. I think we're in.
That is great, man.
Maybe 40.
And you guys started like at the beginning of this year, right? When was the official start of Shattermare?
So, Shattermare, I guess if you go by like the Florida, you know, like official LLC, it was like October of maybe 2020, 2021. The launch of Hardly Heroes was February of this year. So we launched Hardly Heroes issue 1 in February, full print, no pre-orders, and we've been going since that. So
hell yeah, dude. I fucking love it. I fucking love it. I love
great.
hearing it. So yeah, that's fantastic. I love hearing about the shops and like getting the word out there. You know, it reminds me of Pete Smetti. I don't know if you're Alterna Comics. Peter Smetti.
Yeah.
Up in New Hampshire. He bounced out of Diamond, and he was like, "Nah, I'll take care of this myself. Thanks. You're not much help anyway." And he's created his own thing, and you can order Alterna Comics from their website, but you can also ask your shop to get them. He has a network of shops that he ships to. It's like you don't need them. You put the legwork in and do it. That's awesome, man. I fucking love hearing that.
We have an intern now. Yes. So
you have an intern now.
Yeah, we've got an intern. So in the next few weeks, we'll have like I want to create a dealer or like a store locator, so you can go on the website. And, I was reading something and they inspired me. It was a Boom comic. Boom had like a bunch of shops listed, and the funny thing is because it's printed in the back of the book, and some of them like they don't exist anymore. Like they got bought up by Coliseum or whatever. So I'm like, oh, I remember Alter Egos and Jacksonville and the West Side. But to be fair, like they have all their stuff listed. So I will have it on the website. I'd say in the next several weeks, maybe like 2 or 3 weeks. So we're gonna have like if it's fancy enough, it'll be like you go type in like your zip code and how many miles away you are, and it'll be like here's a
right.
But if not, it'll just be like a menu of like what city. So you go to like Jacksonville, like Gotham, and then like Green Cove will be like Cowabunga, St. Augustine will be All Bucks Comics, and Mythical Mountain, that kind of stuff. So we will have that online in the near future. So
hell yeah, constantly moving forward, man, and DIY as fuck.
Yeah,
love it.
And
so shit, man. So the future is bright and shiny for Shattermare Comics. That's fantastic, man.
We got plans.
And they all involve comics. They involve like so going to be hitting the convention circuit, obviously, right?
Yep. So we so we're kind of feeling out like what conventions work, which ones
right.
I really like Heroes Con, and speaking of North Carolina, Flying Feline asks what about. So South Carolina, I'll have to look into. I just haven't had the opportunity yet. So Charlotte, the people who put on Heroes Con, Heroes Aren't Hard to Find, they picked up the book, so I need to update. I need to make sure they're on our. I got to figure out how to ship books, frankly. So that's work in progress. So
hey man, so that's how we roll. That's how it rolls.
So we are in Charlotte, Asheville. I really like Asheville. There aren't like. I want to say there's like a couple comic shops there. I will have to investigate further, but Asheville I would like to get into as well. So we are in Charlotte, and then we're gonna spread out from there. So mostly right now, like outside of Raleigh, because that's where Matt is, who's involved in the publishing company.
Excellent.
So yeah. Sorry. Question. Convention. So we try to blend our Saturdays with like store signings and conventions. So we've got like what's one that's coming up, for example. We got Ancient City in St. Augustine. Shout out to Neil and Max. Those guys are awesome.
Yeah, they've been putting in the work for that show each year.
Yeah, they're doing good stuff. So I want to hit them up and be like, how much money do I have to pay you for you to remove Coliseum of Comics and put like brought to you by Shattermare Comics or like sponsored by
Right.
Shattermare. That will happen next year. Mark my words.
Yes. See, like I said, hungry.
Yeah. So we're doing that one. We're doing we're doing there's one in Orlando, QuestCon.
Take it easy, Frog G. Thanks for coming, man.
Thanks for hanging out, man. Thanks. So yeah, there's a handful of them. There's like one in Jacksonville, comic and toy show.
Awesome.
And then we've just got store signings in between them. So like we've got a couple in Jacksonville. We've got one in Savannah this weekend actually.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So
That's awesome, man.
it's like a band actually.
Yeah,
band.
totally. You're on tour, dude. You're going out and hitting gigs, and that's
I get less beer spilled on me, so that's nice. You know, when I used to do sound gigs at bars and stuff. So.
When you used to do what?
So for a while, like on the side, this replaced that because I don't have Saturdays available, but I do like live sound for like some bands around town.
Oh no shit!
Like primarily one, yeah, but we would use like some bar like club gigs and you know if you're in people get around it.
That's awesome. A good friend of mine and Flying Felines ex actually used to do sound, or he still does sound. He's a sound guy. So yeah, we gonna have good conversation after the show.
Yeah.
So do you have any kind of anything you want to show about the comic outside of what's on the website here?
Well, we talked about you're doing the cover for us. Do you want to show the sketch? Well, should we wait or should we show it?
We can. You know what? We will. I will let y'all know that I am doing the cover, doing a cover for issue 7, and when you're going to be on Red Valkyrie, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Me too.
Yes. Oh, I'm going to be there, and I will be able to show that cover on Red Valkyrie. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Because it's a little rough right now, but we'll have something nice for that cover. When are we?
That is August. 13th.
August 13th. Okay. Yeah.
Eastern.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I will have something awesome for you guys.
Yeah.
For that
You
show.
know it's great because they do cosplay. I was like, what do I want to send them? I'm just gonna send them the Earmuff Girl. Like, what? Who am I kidding? Like, I'm just right. Shay here.
I mean, send all the characters because Shay will get creative with something. Yeah, like, she might surprise you. Yeah. She might surprise you.
Okay, I'll send her what we got so far. I was waiting until we got to like about 5 because there's a little bit more of like a mix to choose from.
Yeah, good. That'll give her more to work with.
Sweet.
Take your Feline. I appreciate you posting that link.
Yeah, I don't know, not too much. Like, there's not a whole lot else to plug. We've got
this website's great, man. You know, it's
sponsored by Squarespace.
Hey, man, you know they work. My website's made with Squarespace. You know,
it's legit.
Yeah. See, look, upcoming events.
Yep. So we got all our events page there through August into September. So if you guys are local,
awesome.
Check us out.
Gotham City Limit.
Yo, we got Mythical Mountain, Emerald City in Tampa, Core in Tampa.
Nice, man.
They're a cool shop.
Yeah.
If you're in the area, I recommend.
Are they in a mall?
No, they have their own building. No. So By mall, do you mean like kind of flea market or like mall?
No, there was a convention that I went to when I was working for an artist in Orlando, and it was over on that side of Florida, and it was kind of like in an actual mall. The comic shop was in a mall, and we were set up like out in the hallway, and I was cleaning up. I have this stack of old like cross-gen, card art boards, like Blue Line and everything. You know what I mean? Got the cross-gen logo, and I found them, and I'm trying to remember where that convention was, because I've been slowly like drawing like cool stuff on those and sending them out to people. And I'm glad I waited. Because they're fucking cool. This is a great website, man. I mean, you guys are on it. You're letting people know where to find you. You guys start doing live streams and talking to people online as well. I mean, you'll have it all covered, homie.
Oh man!
I mean, and here you are.
I'd rather hang out with you.
Yeah, that's totally cool, man. You're more than welcome to come hang out. Yeah, definitely going to have a blast on Red Valkyrie. That's gonna be a good conversation. Yeah. And let's see.
So we
and
got
then the about page.
Yeah.
So is this like the first bit of artwork for the book that was created? What's
page 4 of issue 1.
That's right.
Yeah. So.
That's right.
Yeah, it was back when we were on like issue 1 or 2. Man, it feels like it's been like 3 years. But it was like 4 months ago. It's like
feels like forever ago, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, that's excitement, passion, and you guys are doing it. Getting this stuff out there, and people are picking it up and they're digging it, man. I know that we've sold quite a few of them. And it's always fun to be in the shop and be like, that's a local book. I mean, these guys are local, and it's a completely 100% independent book, just like when I have Absolute and Mary Boys and stuff like that. When I'm like stuff that I know that's good, I can say, hey, check this out, independent comics, right? So yeah.
I can't say good enough things about Kyle, the writer, my friend, and one of the players in the game. Like, so good. Like, somehow we fucked up and we put a group of pretty talented people together without having much experience in comics. Because it's like, well, I take that back. Gabe has been reading comics since he could walk, like since he could read with his dad.
Right.
So he's kind of like our resident comic expert for anything like, older than we've been involved in.
Right.
But my point is that, like, it's just weird. It's just like, I don't know, like maybe I'm in like the imposter syndrome phase where I'm just like, I don't understand because it would be really bad if we sunk a bunch of money and time and effort into something and like no one reads it.
Yeah,
I guess that's what I'm
of
saying.
course.
Like, so the fact that people actually like it and they're like, hey, this is something I'm willing to pick up every month to read, to me,
it's huge.
It's I don't know how to.
Totally, man.
I prepare the speech.
No, man. I get it. They're picking up the book. They're enjoying the content you're creating. You made this book because you wanted to honor your friend. You wanted to honor the story that was told. You wanted to honor the fun and the camaraderie that was, that was this campaign, and you've taken that passion and that love and you've turned it into not just a comic book but a publishing company. And you guys have plans to publish other stories, and to distribute indie books. I mean, that's huge, man. And I think he would be proud to see that, this D&D campaign that everybody was playing because they wanted to play D&D. They wanted to hang out. They wanted to have fun. This was camaraderie, fun, game time. And it has, become something so much more,
Right.
That's fucking rad, man. I love it. American Comics is asking about Cape Coral, Sarasota, Fort Myers, Bradenton, St. Petersburg, and Tampa.
So Emerald City is in St. Pete, I believe, basically Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
For Bradenton, we did a couple things. So we're in a couple of shops in Bradenton. Actually, we're in Dark Side, we're in Descent into Gaming, and we're in a shop called Titan Comics, which is cool because it's like a tattoo shop / comic shop.
Oh, fuck yeah, man. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Love
The
that.
amount of comic shops I've been to where it's like, this shop is called Guns and Comics. Right? Like, you're just like, what? Like,
That's fucking great.
just like the combination of hobbies.
Sign me up. I'm there.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah,
Right?
like there is a shop in Asheville. They do like comics, video
Uh-huh.
games, and records. I'm like, oh man, my favorite
Yes.
hobby. I'm in.
Oh, for sure, man.
So that's the shop I would be in Asheville. But yeah, like how it's great, the combination of shops you could go to. But
Hell yeah.
we did a Bradenton show earlier this year, Suncoast Comic Con, and there's one coming up. I think Necronomicon is in. Would you mind actually going back to the events page?
Oh.
I can,
Yeah, no, I can do that. Let's see.
point it out.
See? Look at this. This is the beauty of having an up-to-date website and, organized.
Shout out to my intern. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's great. So
Shout
Emerald
out to
City-
that intern. Good job.
Sarasota. There you go. Sarasota Con. That's it. So we will be
August
smack
13th.
dab in the middle of that area on August 13th. Oh,
And that will also be
that's-
the day that we're doing the Red Valkyrie interview.
Yep, I'll be there till probably 4 or 5, and then I'll be driving home to do the Red Valkyrie show with you guys. So that'll be fun. Or we could do live. Maybe we could do live. Yeah, we'll see.
I mean, hey, if you've got a good enough connection, man, and as long as you can hear Shay and Sai, that's the important part.
Yeah, I've got
As long as you got a good enough connection and you can talk to them and actually engage like we are right now. There you go. You got a good microphone. See, it's always the internet connection that'll get you though.
Yeah.
What time did you set up the show on Red Valkyrie?
So on Red Valkyrie, I think we're doing 8 p.m.
Okay.
And I have to double check this, but for whatever reason, apparently this show is like 6 in the morning to 1. I have to double check that. I don't know if that's
6 in the morning till 1 in the morning? Or
hold on, let me look this up real quick.
Oh, 6 a.m. to 1 p.m. The show opens at 6 a.m.? The fuck?
I don't know if that's true.
Anybody out there that anybody out there that knows, let us know. Anthony, good to see you, man.
It's sorry.
Swing by more often.
Blame my intern. It's 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. There you go. So it'll be 5 p.m. We'll pack up. I should be fine. We'll get back.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Or I'll have one of the guys work it. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. Just so long as you got a good enough connection so you can actually talk to him, because it's going to be a good show. It's going to be a good show. They they do a good job, and they're really passionate about indie books. Authors and Dragons Con. Ooh, that one's fun.
Cool, yeah.
In Charlotte, North Carolina. Owned in 19th.
Yeah. I think it's in like a Hilton hotel, so it's just like a ballroom show like we were talking about.
Oh, dude, ballroom shows are great. And You never know who you might run into at a ballroom show.
That's right. So, speaking of which, so
8 p.m. EST, yes.
we are. Sorry, I'm updating this event that we just looked at. All right. So if you refresh the page, it should have the correct time on that one. I happen to have the website. Did it work? All right, there you go. 10 of, yeah.
Nice.
Okay. So we're taking the comics based off a D&D game. So we're taking the comic that's based off a D&D game, and we're adapting the comic back into D&D module.
Ha! No kidding. That's awesome, man.
And so we may publish it. Probably. I mean, we're a publishing company. We might as well. But,
might as well.
But it's cool to go to game shops and stuff and promote the story of the comic by running people through the story. So Authors and Dragons is in Charlotte. At least one of us will be there, either Matt and or me. We just got to balance that with something that's in Orlando. So that's a cool one, yeah. So we'll have a table. They're running the module that will kind of be like the premiere of the Hardly Heroes.
That's awesome, man. See, this is what I'm talking about. Plans, it's blossomed into so much more than just beyond. It's blossomed into something more and beyond the initial campaign. I mean, and campaigns can get epic. They can because it's imagination. I don't know. I'm loving D&D because I'm having so much fun at the campaign that I'm in. So, to me, this strikes a particular chord because it's for your friend, and continuing on. I think it's cool that you guys are still playing the same game too. You get the same people playing the game. That's fucking cool too.
Yeah, I got really lucky when I joined this group. I'm not gonna lie, because like we were talking about earlier, a lot of games just kind of fizzle out. Like people have scheduling conflicts. Oddly enough, a lot of people nowadays you can hire a DM.
Oh,
so
rent a DM. Yeah, that is correct. You can.
Yeah. So that comes with its own it's a double-edged sword. But yeah, to get into a group where we can continue playing almost every Monday, weekly, and hang out, leave work, show up, enjoy the night, play the game, and then turn that into something that people can enjoy is pretty phenomenal.
It's an amazing thing.
I'm not gonna lie, it is hard to not influence metagame.
Right. Oh yeah, metagaming is it's so bad for a game, and it can be very, very hard not to do.
Should I explain what metagaming is for the chat in case people aren't familiar?
Go for it.
Okay, so metagaming for people in chat is you're sitting at a table, you're playing a tabletop role-playing game, you're playing your character, right, which you're role-playing as this person in this world, and this character only knows so much about the world. But you, as a player, have knowledge that would be considered meta-knowledge. And so metagaming is ends up being this really annoying thing where people will use knowledge as the player about the world or the characters in the game.
Yep.
When you shouldn't know fuck all about what's going on as your player. So it basically amounts to cheating. And sometimes it's hard to do. Sometimes it accidentally happens. Every now and then it kind of accidentally happens. But if people do it purposely, it kind of ruins the role-playing experience because you're well, you didn't really know that. And you altered the outcome of this event. We're all creating the story together.
Yep.
So anyways, so to add another layer to that is making decisions in the game that we're currently playing, knowing that we're going to make a comic out of it, and that whatever I make a decision in now with my character, whether it's me the player or the character, will be produced for a comic.
Right.
That
Yeah, and not letting that influence what you're gonna do.
yeah,
Oh, yeah, that's a different level of like dodging metagaming.
that is a thing. Yeah. So sometimes we're like, this will be really cool in the comic 8 years from now. What happens? Some things I'm like, you know what? Fuck it.
Yeah.
I went to a magic item shop. The guy had a figurine of Wondrous Power. It summons a nightmare. The nightmare is going to have bluish, thundering, flaming blue hair. This is Shattermare. Like, this is the logo incarnate. You know what I mean? Like, that shit, I'm like, all right.
It happens. You know, I mean,
30,000 gold in game to buy that. And I did. And it's awesome. So, there you go.
Nice. Yeah, it's always fun to see the magical items that you get and the consequences of said magical items. In our campaign currently, Shay's character, Bryn, has a ring that gives her like a 20 wisdom, but it's also she's got some ridiculous pluses now on wisdom and wisdom checks, but it's also cursed with a demon. So like sometimes when she goes to sleep, she gets to fight instead. So
interesting.
Yeah. So it's been cool. It's been really cool. But yeah, man, it's always interesting to see what the magical items hold.
Like a dream sequence encounter. That's cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. Check out the playlist I sent you for the season. It's been pretty fucking rad. You know, we've done some crazy shit. You know.
Nice.
So I am curious about Fleeing Darkness and the Vidges. Number one. Like, are these what are these?
Before we go into that, should I answer Alex VRB's?
Absolutely.
Because I want to say something. Yeah, like
that's metagaming, yo. Became a continuous in joke.
So
nice.
Yeah, so that's kind of how like I resolve it. So like recently I leveled and I had to pick between a spell that would be really good for the dungeon and like a spell that would be really good for my character. Like my character would just almost auto pick that spell. Like Warlock when you get to your level 7 Mystic Arcanum.
Yeah.
And so that's what I did. I just rolled a d4. I was like high-low. Because, yeah, so like you just leave it up to chance and roll, which is interesting because it's like roll the dice, see what happens. It's D&D.
Exactly.
I'm like, this would be metagaming. Like you just roll for it.
Well, yeah, exactly. Like Alex VRB says here, but it's a troll. Well, it's a type of troll. This one is invulnerable to fire. Maybe if you didn't fail your knowledge roll. Fuck. Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. See? Alex gets it.
Yeah, for
man.
Sure. And if you play it long enough, or I guess you're like a veteran D&D player, you kind of know, like, you just kind of know, like, okay, well, I could look up this monster and know, like, its whole stat block, but I'm just not going to act on it.
Don't. Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm curious, but
yeah, I mean, you know, I'm curious as far as like, you know, the way the creature looks and whatnot. I'm more willing to be excited or surprised rather by the hit points. I don't need to worry about that. Now, if we find out in game, like if somebody does something, you know, an attack and it takes a certain percentage off of it, and we find out, that's fine. But I like looking at depictions and do my best not to you know, look at the stats too much.
Yeah, because then it's like, do you really want a game you're playing just to do basic math? Like, do you really just want to play a game where it's like, okay, this guy has 200 hit points. I know I did 20. Okay, I just have this XYZ. Like,
yeah.
if you're
why
gonna
reduce it down to numbers? It's so much more.
if you're gonna do that, just play like 40K, like miniatures.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
or go play a video game if you're not
Or
looking
play a
to
video
like create a story with people. Like, go play a video game where you just you shooting and you killing and you're racking up the number, the kill count. I don't know. That's that's the other thing. I don't want to be straight murder hobo. I want to find out things. I want information. I want to know why I need to kill these people first.
Yeah,
You know?
I think it's like, at least this was me when I was younger. It was like a competitive thing. So it was like, oh, my number is bigger than your number. But then at some point I'm like, well, and I think 5th edition helps with this a lot because they actually build role-playing mechanics into the mechanics.
Mm-hmm.
And because they streamline a bunch of like 3-5 convoluted stuff, it's not like, oh, well, what happens if I have this +2? Well, now I have a -1. Okay, well, now I need a +4. Well, now I need a +3. Like, get rid of all that bullshit. And then what you're left with is the actual story. And so, like, the older I get, the more I enjoy an actual story. So it's not just it's not just competitive. It's not just like PvP or like, oh, I just have to beat this guy. It's like an enjoyable group activity. Yeah, exactly. You don't even need to look up the stat.
It's exciting. Exactly.
Yeah. Unless you want to see like flavor text or like what the monster looks
flavor
like.
text is always fun, especially if you're rolling with that that specific variant of the creature and whatnot.
Yeah. Or maybe if you do make your knowledge roll and the DM's like, oh, it's weak to whatever. You're like, oh, okay, well.
Yeah. Roll me that Arcana check.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Famous last words.
Exactly. All right. So, is this an example of like the publishing other creators' work that you were talking about?
Yeah. So Matt Page, he's a local Jacksonville guy. He's a cool guy. He does Fling Darkness. He is turning this. So I think he's got 3 done. He's working on 4. He's turning this into basically a 4-issue, like a small run. So he's got 1 and 2 available. Well, 1, yeah, because we've got 1.
Right.
I think he has 2 available on his website, which we want to put people directly onto him. And then and then he's going to do a volume with all 4 issues. So this is one of the local artists or creators we promote that has. So he's not. I guess if you want to get technical, he's not like published by Shattermare,
right?
But I have no problem listing, authors, especially people I meet. They have cool stuff going on. They're indie guys. Like, I want to promote everyone in the community. So, or as many people as I can. So he is a friend of mine. We are working on something together that will be officially published under the Shattermare umbrella. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, so Fleeing Darkness is a historical fiction book. It's set back in the Korean War era. So it follows like this Christian family as they go through like right when the Korean War breaks out, and then you've got like American soldiers dropping in. So it's kind of like a Saving Private Ryan story, if I was to compare it to something. So yeah, we carry his issue 1, and then if you wanted to pick up more of his stuff, you go find his stuff. So
learn more right here.
His stuff there.
Yeah.
So that's and like he's so we try to get like a different I don't say diverse. That comes with certain connotations.
I know, but you try different flavors, man. Like different styles. Like he's got a very distinctive style with this story, and like this book has a different style.
Right. So like Fleeing Darkness, Matt's a Christian author. So if that's your thing, go check out his stuff. DG is like a total punk rock, like kid superhero group. Like street level crime fighting group. They've got like this. They live in the city, super corrupt. So they're like, "Fuck it, we're gonna do it ourselves." We're gonna beat people with skateboards and chains. And so you've got Matthew Foote, who does. He's the writer and he is an artist. Bryan. I can't remember his last name. But they're a duo that they're out of Gainesville, Florida.
Nice, man.
They're great guys. So all of the copies we had sold out of theirs. So I think they're on issue 4. I think I'm waiting for them to print more copies, maybe like a little bit of a volume to get back from them. So right now, so they're sold well, like especially at some of the local conventions.
C. Matthew Foote and art by Ryan English.
Yes, there you go. So theirs is cool because they've got a soundtrack. Like they had a guy do, they had a guy do like a, like an official soundtrack to Bee Gees that you can listen along with. So that's cool. It's very the punk rock scene in Gainesville, which inspired me to get people to do a soundtrack for Hardly Heroes. So check out Darkness, check out Bee Gees. There's one other guy we promote right now currently. There actually is another guy I think we're about to promote, but that's not official yet, so I won't say it. But
teasy.
Yeah, a friend of mine, Corey Mills, he's out of Vero Beach. He has this manga he created, like straight up manga, sci-fi, space adventure. I don't think I have it on the website yet, but it is called Lopakana, like LOPIC. Sorry, I've been drinking whiskey.
No, you're doing great, man.
ANN. Lopakana. There you go. So if you check his stuff out, you can find him. There's a guy out of Jacksonville who he just started, and he is getting his stuff off the ground. His is called Ninja Nico, I think. So it's kind of like it's like a Western style comic, but I think it's might be kind of manga, kind of anime-ish.
Awesome. I mean, that's very popular right now.
Yeah, so I'm talking with him about again, like printing, that kind of stuff. In fact, if I can get him to print some more copies of the book and get his print costs down, I'll bring some down to St. Augustine and show you guys.
Excellent.
So,
I would do that.
Yeah, there's local people doing stuff all over Florida. So
yeah, and helping other creators get out there as well, man. You're building it, man. This is fantastic. Like I said, and like I've said, before, I'm wicked proud of you guys. This is fantastic. What you've built in such a short time, like it's awesome, and I can't wait to see what you guys do with it next. And yeah. So issue 5, everybody, is going to be on sale July 20th, and be on the lookout for my cover for issue 7.
That's right.
And the interview on Red Valkyrie on August 13th.
And if you scroll up to the top, no one sat there that long right now, but at the end of this, there's a discount code.
Oh, shit. Just a little heads up if you wait through the scroll there.
To sit here for
what else do you need? What are you waiting for? If you're still reading this, thank you for hanging out.
I threw it in there because I was like, fuck it, why not? They have this feature on the website, why not?
That's awesome.
But I'm just saying it's there. Like, I haven't seen anyone use it yet, but
hit it up, get that discount code. Listen, y'all know you like comics. You know you like discount codes. So hit that discount code. Hit them up. 20% off. Y'all, go hit up my boys at Shattermare and get yourself some good comics and fund these boys. They're working hard for your dollar. And I mean, putting feet on the pavement, and getting books out into shops, hand delivering them in some cases. So yeah, these guys are doing that indie thing, man. So anyway, anything else? Anything else you want to say about Hardly Heroes, about Shattermare, about comics in general? Any closing thoughts, my friend?
Let me think of what I didn't cover. So, all right. So I got one more thing. check it.
He got more, ladies and gentlemen. He
So,
got more.
do you know The Collective? It's a store in Orlando.
Sounds familiar.
So
Yeah.
they do what's called a collective initiative, which is like a compilation anthology of like local creators, authors, artists, etc. We're going to be in that at the end of the year. I just have to reach out to the curator to make sure what we're doing isn't like too graphic, because we're like, we want to do something like Hardly Heroes, but more mature, like think like Berserker, like like gore, that kind of like violence. So so we're gonna have something featured in that, and they'll have their own crowdfunding and all kinds of stuff. And it's gonna be called I think we're calling it the working. Well, I think that the title will be Lich in the Kitchen. So it's going to be another band. Thank you. So it's going to be a shout out to Kyle to come up with that.
Dude, Kyle, that's great, man. We're going to have to get you on one of these so you can.
We're literally driving to somewhere, one of the signings or events. He was like, "So I have an idea. Like, if we want to write more stuff." I'm like, "What?" And he was like, "So I was watching a cooking show," and I'm like, "Go on." He's like, all right. So check it. Look, so I have this idea for a slice of life comic with a lich, and his passion is cooking. That's all he wants to do. He just wants to cook, you know? And so like the premise is this lich who has a cooking show. And so like he's in the modern day because he's an immortal, right? But like you flash back to a lot of like the fantasy days, you know what I mean, where you get like the D&D vibe. And it's got like these parties trying to hunt and kill him because he's a lich, and they're like, oh, we're gonna defeat you, you evil like scourge. And he just wants to cook. Like the guy just wants to be left alone to his own devices and follow his passion. And so he like gruesomely, and so he gruesomely murders adventurers that come to kill him, and he turns them into audience for his show. And,
so he's not even cooking people. He's like cooking regular food, and they're coming after him anyway.
It's it's a total like joke on like it's a parody of like the HD cooking channel. Like he's literally like, oh yeah, we're pulling out like a creme brulee, and he's got like eldritch recipes and stuff, and so
wants to cook. People, I'm on to you.
That's right.
I'm gonna find your flash.
There's all kinds of shenanigans that happen, you know, in between. And so we may like, I don't know, we may include like legit recipes and come out with like collector's recipe book. And, you know, just fun.
Hell yeah, man. That's fun. See, that's fun stuff. And there's an audience for that because there is an audience for, you know, cooking manga. You know, there's an audience for tennis manga. You know,
that's right.
Yeah, it's crazy how many different subgenres of manga there are just because there are people that read it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So man,
they're killing it. I mean, like
people are reading it.
Eastern books are killing it. So.
Oh yeah, man. That's because that's where the story's at. You know, that's where the characters are. That's where the passion is. You know, you got these people working their fingers to the bone, working themselves sometimes to death, making these books, and their fans eat it up. I mean, Demon Slayer outsold the fucking entire one issue. You know, however, what I don't know what their scheduling is, but one issue of Demon Slayer outsold the entirety of the North American comic book industry. That should tell you something. One, that they read a lot more over in Japan than we do, and we should be ashamed of ourselves. And two, that's where the stories are, because in the 7 years that I've been working at All Books and Comics, it's the first time we've had manga being requested. We've had people coming in looking for manga. It's the first time that we've had people bringing in manga for trade. We've had people looking for manga, asking for it for the first time in 7 years. I mean, hell, I just bought Vampire Hunter D omnibus and the Berserk omnibus, Volume 1.
Nice.
You know, just because I've seen the anime of Vampire Hunter D, but not Berserk. And be told I need to read Berserk often and very vehemently by friends. And you know, I've always wanted to read Vampire Hunter D, so fuck it. You know, might as well check out the manga. It's amazing how it's shifted. That's where the youth's going. You know.
Exactly. Yeah.
But you know, there's still, you know, still people out there buying, you know, indie comics, and that's the beauty of, again, about indie comics. We're nimble, we're quick, we can adapt to that manga scene, you know, because I mean it's just good storytelling. Because comic books are comic books, whatever you want to call them. You know, call them manga. That's, you know, that's comic book over there. It's comic. So I don't know. Let's see. Everybody says nonsense. Look, identified screw like the audience you're chasing. Story and depth, they're totally tertiary. Well, hey, that's nice alliteration there, buddy. Good job.
Yeah. We see how that's working out for them now. So
yeah, well, you know.
I mean, I'm just, you know what? I'm just gonna be over here enjoying good comics, because if you look out there, they're out there. If you look, there are good comics out there, you know, like this one. So go grab this book, go pre-order it so you can get it. And if you're not nearby, if you're not in any of the states that currently get it, you could literally order it straight from these guys, and they will mail it to your door.
Yep. And we also, if you guys are heathens and you're only into digital copies,
Some of my favorite people are heathens.
we do have
they like books. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
We do have a Patreon where you can go subscribe to the digital version of the book.
Oh, see?
Yep, and you get, like manga, you get 8 black and white pages a week leading up to the full color release. So that's what I forgot to show earlier. Yeah.
So this is perfect for international.
Yeah. Yeah. That way,
dude, drop the link for your Patreon in the private chat, so I can go ahead and drop it in the main chat for people, because shipping to, especially to Australia, our poor Australian brethren and sisterin, they pay through the nose for shipping sometimes, and being able to grab digital copies of stuff is a godsend, so they can actually read, you know, something, you know, so they can actually, you know, help support an indie creator and still be able to read indie comics, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, I mean, and we're launching, I think August or September, there's a kind of like a Webtoons competitor that their algorithm their app is better for Western style structured comics. It's Billy.
Nice.
So we're going to be on there as well.
I wonder if Pedro know about that.
Yeah. So it'll be like Top Cal and then us. So it's like, yeah, we're somebody. Yeah.
You know what? Little bits at a time, man. Brick by brick.
Yeah.
Footstep by footstep. You know.
I might throw it up on Comixology. We'll see. I don't know. They like Substack. But
I mean, there's a lot of different avenues out there now.
Yeah, for sure. So, let me make sure that's the actual link to the Patreon.
Okay, yeah. Just because I do know that there are international. I've got quite a few international friends that you know, that's cool for them. They can actually, you know, read stuff. And I like the idea of releasing the black and white and leading up to that's fun. And that, again, that's adapting to that manga, you know, that manga style. So yeah, man, I dig it. I dig it. Putting thought into those.
I'm a thinker. I'm a schemer.
I'm a thinker. I do that big thinking stuff sometimes.
Yeah, man.
I drink and I think and I know things.
Exactly. I'm pretty sure it's Patreon Shattermare Comics, so I don't know.
Okay,
I just work here.
I just work. I have no idea.
Oh, here we go. View your public page. There you go. Sorry, I was logged into the.
No, that's it.
That's it.
I just
okay,
yeah, I just went to it. It works.
sweet.
I'll post it with the HTTP and all that fun stuff that that YouTube apparently requires in order for it to turn into a link. Oh, YouTube.
So yeah, if you guys are interested in digital version of the book, it's at Patreon, and we do have a tier on there that you can get the physical book. It kind of includes some shipping in there, because Patreon you can't like set a shipping price or whatever. But then you still get the digital copy. So, and then we don't really have the super cool VIP VIP tier if people want to sign up for it. That will kind of be like as we publish more content, or if we get like say the YouTube series going, that will be the home for like all of that, like early access, like not just the Harley Hero stuff, but like subscribe to this and get Shattermare comics bundled stuff.
Yeah, man.
So
get early access to it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, someone said, Alex BRB said, "Oh, perfect, thank you."
Yeah.
How many issues are going to the trade? So we're basically copying the Saga model, which is 6-issue volumes in a trade paperback, and then we're gonna do like a super deluxe awesome version where you've got like an 18-issue hardbound book, and we're gonna do like we'll do like a leather, like a cool like a leather bound book or something. So that's a while ways from now, so we'll figure it out. But yeah, so each volume will be 6 issues.
Nice. That's beautiful. Yeah.
That's okay. People vote for inflation everywhere. American Comics Co. But we probably don't want to turn this into the finance podcast.
Yeah.
We could go there. That's my day job. I love talking shit about finance and economics.
Oh shit.
So
yeah.
I won't bore Luke though.
I mean, it all comes together. It all plays a part of it. But yeah, that might bore the audience. Yeah. Well, I mean, shipping was the angle I was going for. Digital is good for shipping because not having to pay the extra shipping. But again, digital versus print. Give me digital for when I'm traveling and I want like an entire library of books to read on my tablet. Yeah. If I want to take an entire series, like if I want to take all of Preacher with me and read it while I'm on vacation or something like that, give me digital so I can read through it on a tablet. I don't have to take 12 fucking trades with me.
Yeah.
Paper gets heavy.
Oh yeah.
Ask me how I know. So
I finally got something in the mail recently, and I opened it, and I was like, "Wow, this is really professional. Like for an indie person, I mean, this like blows my shit out of the water." And they sent me a PDF because I backed it, like that whatever tier it was on Indiegogo, and I was like, "I think I'm just gonna read the PDF." I still want to read the story for the story, and then I'll just keep like this nice box with like posters and like hollow kind of foil cover. Yeah. So
keep it pristine. You can read the digital. Yeah, no, I know. I hear you. I love the feel and the texture and the smell of comics. I love feeling a comic in hand, and there is something about having a cup of coffee and just reading a comic, just there's something very zen about it for me.
Do you go to Kookaburra?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, is that your coffee spot down there?
Oh no, I mean, if I go out and get coffee, yeah, I do. But But I mean, most of the time I make my own here, and sometimes I'll just sit out on the back porch and just, especially if it's raining. Fuck, if it's raining, I will sit outside and read and drink my coffee and forget about the world.
Oh man, I'm getting some coffee next time I come down there. Like,
yeah, yeah. Kookaburra does good coffee, man. Seriously, they do really good coffee.
Nobody knows what we're talking about.
Nope. I mean, Feline knows what we're talking about.
Oh, okay.
She's my Kookaburra buddy, and much more. But yeah. Dude, this has been fantastic. I have had an absolute blast, and this is actually one of the longer new book Who Dis, just because I wanted to give everybody a chance to see, get a chance to know you guys, get a chance to see what Shattermare was about, and I am so excited to see what you guys have in store. I am wicked proud of the progress that you've made. Yeah. Cucaracha, buddy, what? Exactly. Exactly.
It's like that, but well, if I talked about Aussie pies, it would just make that joke worse.
Yeah, that would just make it worse. But again, Feline knows what we're talking about.
Yeah, it's like like chicken pot pies, but like breakfast stuff. That's that's
so
their
good.
thing. Yeah, apparently
So good.
Australian people eat that. I don't know. I think it's great.
You know what? I'm going to take it the next time I go there. I'm going to take a picture of one, and I'm going to send it to Bancroft and Hockey and my other Australian friends, and be like, "So, and Dean, be like, so is this legit? I mean, you guys eat stuff like this over here? Because we got this place over here that's trying to pass this off as like genuine Aussie cuisine. I'm just curious. I'm just curious.
Confirmation.
Yeah.
Yeah. They
exactly,
Lee.
Exactly.
It's just St. Augustine though. It's the weird thing, but they've got like 3 locations.
So. Yeah. Oh, they're probably start branching out into Jacksonville and stuff like that. I mean, they've got a roasting place here.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. They've got a bean roasting place here in town. So, yeah, the veggie with blue cheese is yummy. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Okay. It's gonna devolve into food talk now, and I'm gonna get hungry. So, all right. Any last anything else that you would like to say? Any last thoughts before we head on out, my friend?
Yeah. I mean, like American Comics Co. If you got questions about shipping, like I don't have shipping set up for everywhere, but if you hit us up at the email or Instagram or whatever, like I'll work with you. So.
Hell yeah. See, that's, again, beauty of indie publishing. You know, you can, there are people behind the comics, real people that like actually do this thing and want to make sure you get your comics and enjoy your comics. Almost like, something we've been saying for a while here in the indie scene, right? It's exactly what we do, It's fantastic, man. I love it. Black Rifle coffee. Yep, Black Rifle's good.
Rifle's pretty good. They
lots of.
They're
coffee.
in Savannah, aren't they?
I think so.
They if not, they have a big like store there. So
yeah,
they're pretty good.
Hell yeah. Well, Bryan, thank you so much for coming to hang out, man. This has been a blast, seriously. And I have to get you to come hang out with Woodrow and Cy, and we'll talk tabletop, we'll talk D&D, and other stuff like that. That may or may not be a live stream. That may be just kind of like an off-air hangout and just like be complete fucking D&D nerds. But we'll see. That would be fun.
Or we could do when you guys do a live play, you can bring me in as like a common or NPC.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'll bring that up to him. Hell yeah,
like
man!
Mission. I'll be the escort NPC, and then
right.
Try not to.
Oh, dude, that'd be awesome. Yeah, I'll talk to him about it. I will. But yeah, man. All right, everybody. If anybody has any questions, I would have hoped that you would have brought them up by now. But thank you all so much for coming to hang out. And go check out the website. If you're in any of these areas that they're going to, hit up the events page and see where they're at. Go meet these guys and see them out on the campaign trail, as it were. and pick up the new issue. And we will see you guys later. Peace.